All right. All right. There we go. I think we got past the little technical issue that we had. Hold on now. Actually, we even got Captain Leonard here with us this morning. Good deal. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Leonard, can you hear me? Captain Leonard, can you hear me? Leonard, can you hear me? I think Leonard having some issues over there this morning. Captain Leonard, good morning. How you doing this morning? I can't say something, Leonard.
Testing.
Yes. Okay. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Hmm. Okay. Let me go out and come back in. Let me reboot it here. Give me 1 second. Do-do-do-do-do-do. It's gonna be like smooth sailing in just a second. There we go. Got me? Okay, had to reboot the thing, man. Good morning, Captain. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, in the Morning Glow family.
Man, I've been over here. And I said, look here, we're gonna start on time this morning. And I've been over here struggling, not struggling, but struggling like crazy, man. I tell you, system shut down on me 2 or 3 times. I said, oh man. But look here, look how Paul said that thing. When I try to do good, evil is always among me. And then what he say? Even when he try to do good, I try to do good. I said, man, look here. I said, I got up early. I got up extra early this morning. I said, I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna get down here, man. I'm gonna get this thing kicked off at 7 o'clock. We're gonna start at 7 o'clock. We 11 minutes late. Lord Jesus, 11 minutes. Not 11, but 11. But anyway, man, we here now. So let's move this thing forward. Leonard, I got a question for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
And I know you're the one that's very equipped to answer this question for me. There's several kind of people in the world, Leonard. No, we're not gonna go there yet. I'm gonna keep that one. I'm gonna keep that one for later on. We're not gonna go there.
Okay.
I want to go here. How does one know, Leonard? And this is an individual question, but how does one know whether they are an entrepreneur or a exchange time for money type person?
Well, entrepreneurs have to do a lot extra, and
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs are usually about doing that particular thing. They're creative people. They have ideas
Mm-hmm.
and things of that nature. Ideas that they believe that other people would be interested in, and that they
Mm-hmm.
can make a profit from that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all an entrepreneur is.
So basically, not everyone is an a quote unquote entrepreneur.
No,
Mm-hmm. Do you think, Leonard, it takes a special kind of person to be an entrepreneur?
no, it just takes a person committed to being that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can be an entrepreneur if they want to.
Okay, let me throw another. Let me throw a little a little another little trick in there. A successful entrepreneur.
Oh yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Being an
Okay.
entrepreneur is not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't go along with that whole concept of quote. I can't even. I don't know if there's a big word for it,
Mm-hmm.
or is it black economy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because just because everybody black don't want to be an entrepreneur,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
there's nothing wrong with that at all. As a matter of fact, it makes for a better balanced system actually,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because this perfect bartering system that a lot of people refer to is a bunch of fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a
Why,
bunch of fantasy.
why do you say it's a bunch of fantasy?
Because you have to take into consideration the economy of scale.
Mm-hmm.
And what economy of scale is about is the ability of individuals to provide what the market needs or what the
Mm-hmm.
market demands, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't supply that, then you're going to fail.
Leonard, from an economical standpoint, and you know we always talk about economics on here.
Hmm.
What would that do to society if everybody decided I'm just gonna be an entrepreneur and you don't have the trade and the workforce. I just say trading time for money, individual. Everybody wanted to be an entrepreneur. Would that hurt? Would that hurt the society that we live in?
It
Or,
could have. No, I'm not saying of hurting society. It would definitely be different.
mm-hmm,
It would definitely be different. There'd be a lot of more loopholes, lot of less regulation, and it probably would bring on quite a bit of shock
mm-hmm,
for the very simple fact the economy is so large. No one group of people can actually say that they can supply
mm-hmm,
everybody. So,
mm-hmm,
say for instance, the best thing is quality products and services
mm-hmm,
that are necessities. Those are first. Then you have things like luxury items or alternative items, for instance.
mm-hmm,
They're not too much better, but they are an alternative.
mm-hmm.
Then you
Are
have
they
your
most of the time?
luxury things.
Most of the time, the alternatives are they a little cheaper,
Mm, mm-mm.
more
Sometimes
affordable?
it just depends. Sometimes they're not cheaper at all.
Mm,
A lot of people go out of business for that very reason. If you didn't
mm-hmm,
look at the market and see how much everybody else was charging, and you went in there and charged 2 times the amount because for some reason you just believed your product was better,
mm-hmm.
and people find out it ain't, boom, done.
History.
Done. Yeah, alternatives are just that. There are other things on the market that people could choose. Why would
Mm-hmm,
they choose yours?
mm-hmm.
Then you
Well,
have your luxury and specialty items.
well, watch this. Now I'm going to open up a can of worms. Now I'm about to. Well, they have to accept my product because it's a black owned business, and we need to support each other. We need to support black owned businesses.
No, I don't.
What's that mindset, Leonard?
You could still be supporting black-owned businesses.
Mm-hmm,
If your sweet potato pie ain't better than this person's sweet potato pie, they go
mm-hmm.
into the better sweet potato pie,
Yeah.
and it does not matter what color you are.
Mm-hmm. You could be purple,
It
purple
could
and
be
purple.
it could be two black business people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm,
You know who has the better pie? That's the pie that's going to be bought. Anybody that opens up a pie shop thinking that people ought to buy their pies from you because they black, I
mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't fund that business plan.
No, no. But let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you the question, and I
Mhm.
love this young lady, love her to life, man. But was Patty LaBelle pies that good, man? I never tried it. Was Patty LaBelle pies that what the Patty LaBelle pie taste like grandma pie? Sweet potato pie that is. Have
Well,
you ever tried it?
I used to make and sell sweet potato pies. Patty's
Mm-hmm.
pie is fine. It's a
Mm-hmm.
but I can guarantee you ain't a pie at her house.
It ain't the one she make in her kitchen.
No, it ain't the one she make in her kitchen, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a good pie for people that don't cook pies.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
the draw. You like sweet potato pie, but you don't like to cook them or you can't cook them. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
you go buy one. So Patty's pie basically has a package. It's
Mm-hmm.
Patty LaBelle. We love Patty
Yeah.
LaBelle.
Yeah.
She's known for cooking. That makes for a great product in a huge market such as ours.
Percentage wise, how many
Oh
people buy?
yeah.
How percentage wise, literally, how many people bought the pie because they thought it was gonna be a good pie, or bought the pie because of the fact it had the name attached to it, Patty Pie?
Well, that too. That's what makes it such a great product
Mm-hmm.
because of her name.
Mm-hmm.
And even if her pie wasn't as good as everyone else's, if it was just as good as everyone else's,
Mm-hmm.
it would still be fine.
Okay. Okay.
You know, her pie doesn't have to be that much better than any other store-bought pie, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there aren't that very many good sweet potato pies on the market, not in
Yes.
mass market. You know,
Exactly. And see, and
but
and,
it's a
and that's
lot
my thing.
going to being successful, a successful
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur. You know, you could have your niche like the vegan
Is
lady
there is
that
there a
does the
formula?
burgers.
Is there a formula?
It depends. Yeah, it could be a formula on staying successful once you become successful.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people just have great products and services, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes them successful.
Okay.
Is they
Okay.
have great products and services, really, when
Mm.
it boils down to it.
And you said services, and that does definitely include customer services. Customer
Everything,
service. Yeah.
administrative goods and services. If you, I'm a consultant, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I used to do. So my thing on the market was services, administrative services, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was my business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, other people have different businesses. Say, for instance, we know the food business is very profitable.
Oh yeah.
If you make good food, you can almost make money anywhere.
Mm-hmm. The markup
So,
is crazy too.
oh yeah, oh yeah, but that's because there's a desire for it. Long as there's demand, you can do business.
Exactly.
It's harder to create your demand.
Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain. Welcome to a new day.
Hey, welcome to you as well, Rico. We're talking about entrepreneur. And how does one know? How does an individual know whether they are an entrepreneur or are they the time for money type individual? Rico, where lies the difference?
I mean, I ain't never really took time to worry about how somebody would know if they're entrepreneur or not. I mean, that question would be hard for me to answer. I just know that, some people got it and some people don't. Some people like to make money and some people don't, but everybody may have it. It just depends on what their interests are. I mean, they don't know the system to it, maybe they do it in the wrong way. Maybe they pawn stuff off or sell stuff cheap to go and get things, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but I'm just listening on this, man. I was thinking about what you were saying about the Patty LaBelle thing, and it would make me think of life. When the guy said he didn't kill the Santa Claus, it was just one in a suit dressed like him. Them ain't her pies, they just got her face on it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't making them in her kitchen. Exactly. I'm pretty sure they don't take nothing like the one she made from scratch. You know what I'm saying? But they're pretty good though. She cornered the market. You had most times if you was gonna get pies like she sold, you was gonna get the one sold in the deli of the grocery store or the bakery or the grocery store, which probably wouldn't be too much quality, depending on if you went to Publix or Kroger or something. Now they got good quality. Okay. But when she jumped in the game the way she did, she didn't go into the frozen section like Sarah Lee and all these other people that got frozen pies. She went into the bakery side, and you really didn't see anybody else doing that. So that was a real smart move, and really and truly, I guess people need to realize that anything they have a value that other people want to consume or that other people value, then it can be sold.
That's good. That's good. And so, I honestly speaking, I've never tried. I love Patty. I do, man. Patty, that's my girl, right? That's Auntie Patty. But I never tried her pies, man. I never took the time out to go out there and buy one of the pies, and I should just to support her, I guess. But my thing is, I don't know what the pies taste like, and I've heard good reviews, I heard bad reviews. I heard, like here in Atlanta, for a long time they had a Gladys Knight chicken and waffles. Now you score over there all the time, and I used to like that. Now that was good. I'm sure Leonard being here in Atlanta, Rico, you come over here to Atlanta from time to time, and I'm sure you probably went over to Gladys Knight chicken and waffles.
Oh, that was my spot late night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I go up in there, man, and it was good. I definitely enjoyed it. What I got. First time I went there, kind of shocked me a little bit because I saw it in line, but surprised and loved the line moved real quickly, and I got in. My wife and I got in there, man, and we enjoyed. We hate that close, man. We hate.
You like sweet potato pie, Raheem?
Oh yes, Lord.
I'll make you one.
Make me one. No. Make me two. Make me two.
Hey, man, I learned my lesson about going to restaurants because everybody else say they hot. I realize now that a lot of times black people, well, melanated people, we will support things out of the unconditional loyalty to the fact that it's black-owned business. But man, when I tell you that varsity is some overrated trash, I felt like I was gonna die. The minute I ate that greasy mess, man, I walked out that varsity and I said, I ain't never coming back here, man. I'm looking at the line and all this worldwide publicity. You can go and look at different TV shows. Oh, the varsity is a landmark, an Atlanta historic staple. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna tell her how many people done died from eating this mess, man. When I tell you that, I said, that's another reason. That's what I get for listening to other people. Because some people will patronize just because of who it is. They don't think nothing about the quality of the service.
And truth of the matter, it's amazing that you said that. We got Ibrahim on here. We got a Tucson on the line too. I'm gonna go to them. But I went to the varsity as well. When I first moved here to Atlanta, I went, my wife and I, again, we just like to try different restaurants, and we went to the varsity. And neither one, only thing we like, and it's sad to say, and then I don't want to talk bad about their people. They do what they do. But the best part of that meal was the shake. The shake was good, but the rest of the meal, man, I really didn't care too much for it, man. Not like I said again, I'm not gonna get on here and bash nobody's business. They got their own business, and I hope that they're successful in what they're doing. But it wasn't my cup of tea, and everything ain't for everybody. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm all right.
Toussaint, we talking about entrepreneur. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
You too late.
I'm too late?
Yeah.
What happened?
You say I ain't gonna talk bad about it.
Oh Lord. No, but Toussaint, it just wasn't for me.
I ain't like nothing but to say.
Yeah.
People in the line, but I ain't talking bad about them.
Well, y'all something else.
Oops.
But it just wasn't for me though. Or my wife. It wasn't for us. I mean, I'm sure some people love it.
Yeah.
Leonard probably love it.
Yeah.
Ibrahim.
It's a local thing. I went generally because of the shake.
Mm-hmm. See,
so the shake was good. You know?
Orange.
It's orange. It's the orange sickle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I mean, it's just a fast food place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's more nostalgic than anything. I'm pretty sure Ibrahim knows who probably started it and everything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's almost like you go up north, they say White Castles. I wasn't too impressed with White Castles, man. I wasn't impressed with White at all.
If you didn't grow up with it, you probably wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because everybody said White Castle, man. Go to White Castle, man. Please, man. Throw it. And again, no, I'm not gonna do that. Y'all already got on me about. I'm not gonna talk bad about their establishment. It just wasn't for me. Ibrahim, good morning. Ibrahim, good morning, sir. Hi. I'm sorry. Hold on, Toussaint. I didn't even get your comment, brother. I done skipped right by you. Ibrahim, I'll come right back to you. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
You're good. No, I find out that I ain't no entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
I need a job.
Mm-hmm.
Because so let me ask this. I guess this is a question and a statement. You tell me which one it is.
Both.
If you want to help people and you wind up making sacrifices, you might not want to go into your own business.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll find out you'll be giving stuff away. Or you always start with a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Kinfolks.
Cousin them.
Never. I would say almost never. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Friends and kinfolks. I wouldn't go into business with them. I'm just saying.
They're gonna get you. Toussaint, they're gonna get you.
Yeah, it's always, somebody's ice colder than yours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm just saying.
I believe you might have a point there. Ibrahim.
Yes.
Ibrahim, we're talking about entrepreneurs. How does one know whether they are entrepreneur or they'll trade my time for money type person?
How does the person know they're entrepreneur?
Yes. Or whether they're a person that just want to get a job and trade their time for money.
I think that speaks for itself, right? That you're fulfilling the needs of people, and also you're making a good piece of change off of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think as entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. Can everybody be an entrepreneur, or better yet, like I asked Leonard, can everybody be a successful entrepreneur?
No, everybody can't, because a lot of people don't understand this. My daddy told me we own restaurants and bars and all those kind of things, right? You are the product. Like you hear anything about restaurants, the product is the name. If you don't have the name and the personality, right, then your business is not going to be served unless it's known for something. It's got to have its own personality or name, that people recognize or people have a feeling for. So that's pretty much a successful thing of entrepreneur. I've been entrepreneur in a different out in transportation, trucks. I owned trucks at one time. I had a little small trucking company up in Boston, and but my careers was with people that I did service for, other trucking companies and shippers and receivers. They respected me because that's who I am. I had some jacked up drivers. I always made it right. I made it whole. So I did a flea market business with the storage auctions. I was the business. My name was the business. I made a name for myself. My name was the business to its good and to its detriment. But every business, two things about a business fails if you can't sell that business after you worked on it for a while for a goodly price. You know, you always try to work your business up where it's going to be sold, has value to it, right? And a lot of people get personal with this. This is their business, this is their name, everything. They don't want to sell that, right? But that is your business. That's your entrepreneurship. You know, like the guy that had BET, he sold it for $1 billion some dollars. You know, he started for almost nickels and dimes, you know, and built up on it. But that was his value. Now, we might not like it, but that he was a successful businessman. If he don't ever make another dollar, he was successful in doing that, and probably signed a contract. He couldn't get in that type of business anymore, right? But this is entrepreneurship, you know, and that you provide a service, a goodly service that you're proud in, that you can sell, and it's you. You're selling your name. You're selling your character, right? That is what you operate on as far as an entrepreneur.
That's good. That's good. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
You know, it's business is what it can be, and being you're not an entrepreneur because you don't want to work for nobody else. That does not make you an entrepreneur. It may force you to become an entrepreneur, but it's not why, you know, it means you're gonna be successful. You just prefer to run your own thing. So just like Brother Ibrahim said, you're the business. If you don't have a healthy attitude, if you don't have a friendly disposition and don't work hard, you're not going to be successful. It takes a lot to run a successful business, and growing the business and things like that. You got competition, all types of things to deal with. So you just don't become successful overnight. You know, a lot of people have breakout products and they do very well, but to maintain that type of business, how are they going to maintain it? Or were you just a fad or something like that? You know, we talked about Patti LaBelle, for instance.
Yes.
Her pie don't really have to be so much better than everybody else's, but it has to be at least just as good.
Had to be in a conversation.
It can't be a worse pie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what business you go into in. And like Ibrahim was getting to, if you're proud of what you're bringing to the market, you should put all you can in it. And then that'll help you be a lot more successful. It's because you'll be pushing a great product that you made. Home, if it's home, like say for instance, homemade, that's a big deal. Made from scratch. When you're cooking or something like that, or to win an award or to get in a competition, best barbecue in town. You know, that's how you see those business usually. Or some businesses are so great and you can word of mouth. Man, you've been to that food truck over there, go over there, such and such. Well, they only open on, you know, you got to go through all that where some people ain't even open every day. And then you got to pick a day to make sure you go on the right day. And then that day you go to line maybe down the street.
Is it slutty vegan and something like you're talking about? Because you know slutty vegan, she did Pinky did a great job with that, man.
Money hand over foot, but it's because there was something about her burger that was better than the other burgers, and then compared with her like say for instance, I'm gonna try it. A celebrity say he just gonna try it. Why should she spend money on advertising if a celebrity will stand there and say, eat the burger and say it's good and then put it out on social media? That's her whole marketing plan. Yeah, she ain't spent no money on that. She just put a sign up and is available and people just come. And it became popular for vegan burgers.
Yeah, she did. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to talk on the other side of the coin. I went, myself, my wife, and my daughter, Mary, we went over to the Slutty Vegan. The first time we went over to Atlanta, and we went over to the vegan. We went specifically to go there to get something to eat, man. And it was good to me, man. It was good.
Yeah.
It was very, like I said, it was very good. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the experience, the whole atmosphere of the place, because she had the music dumping, and she had the people, you know, the people that was actually meeting you outside the door and stuff like that. It was like an experience.
And it's very trendy. It's very trendy.
Absolutely.
That allows her to keep her price a little bit higher and everything else. As long as people are coming, that's your signal that you got some. She can't even, man, she has customers hand over foot. I think now she has a scholarship program. She's putting other young women into business and helping support that. So she's even turning around and making herself more attractive in the market because what she's doing for the community.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna tell you something. I definitely enjoy it. Y'all know how I could get crazy sometime, man. Mary looked at me talking about, "Oh, Daddy, you embarrassed," because I was loud, man. They were loud, and I was louder than they was. But man, look at it. When we first walked off the line, there was some people standing there, man, and they had the little arms folded like they were just, I just want to get my food. I went up there and I started, having a party.
Making a commercial, doing a commercial.
Man, look at here. By the time we got to the front, they said, "Man, this your first time?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Look, we're gonna give you some extra, man, because you enjoyed yourself."
You crazy, man.
And they did. They put some extra stuff in their bag, and I was like, "Wow." and Mary looked at me. She got in the car because Steve was sitting waiting in the car for us, and Mama, Daddy did it again. He did it again. But Rico, I enjoyed the experience of it all, and I've let myself be a part of it, man, because that's what it is. She have created an experience that people buy into, and they spend that extra money. It was a little costly. It wasn't cheap, but at the same time, you pay for the experience. What do you say to that, Rico?
Yeah, there's limits to that, though. There's a bakery down here I started going to, man. I mean, I loved it so much that they could see it on my face. And every time I came in there, I actually brought them joy with the stuff that I was saying. They were like, "Man, we need to make a commercial with you." I was free promoting. I mean, man, these cookies are good, man. The pies are good. The scones are good. Everything they making there is good, man. I mean, you go in there, you just want to fall asleep in there. Just lock me in here. Let me gain all the weight I want to. I mean, good. And I turned my mom on to it. I went to turning other people on to it. And so they were like, "Yeah, we getting a lot of new customers behind you. Free advertisement." But I was packing on the weight.
Yeah.
But it was so good, it sold itself, And then they gave you rewards for free cookies. But this was the thing about it. One little bit of cookie might cost you $2.25. Oh, man, wow. And guess what? I was buying a dozen and a half of them. $40 and $50 worth of cookies every week, man. I was going out of town traveling, taking them with me, stocking up on them. I wanted to make sure they lasted through the week.
Wow.
And I think about how good that product was, the quality of the product. Even though it wasn't that healthy for me, man, that was a good product, man. And little by little, you go in there, you see a line around the corner for people trying to buy cookies and pastries. Bread, just bread. I ain't never liked bread before like that. They had good bread.
Okay.
And so, sometimes you can put out a product, man. I mean, that's once again, somebody provided a service and put out a product that everybody, not only did they like it, they might not have needed it, but they liked it and they wanted it. It's called supply and demand.
Yes, absolutely.
And once you have something that other people desire, you might have the mindset to say, "Hey, I can use this to benefit myself to grow and become prosperous." But then, like Donald said, you might be the type of person that say, "You know what, man, this is so good. I just want everybody to enjoy it and experience it." And you ain't thinking nothing about no money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something that you have to really have a gift for to profit. There are plenty of visionaries and people that came up with recipes and inventions that they were stolen from them because they didn't understand the profitability. Look at hip hop. Look how profitable it is. But we let it slip through our fingers, and let these greedy people that understand capitalism and business jump in and say, "Well, since we can't kill it and we see it's unstoppable, we're going to show y'all how to make it profitable. We're going to use it in every commercial you see on TV." But the other person just, hey, we just looked at it for fun. We just, and participated because it made us feel good, So there's so many different situations where I see people with the Jack Daniels. They had to come up with another brand for the man that actually came up with the recipe, Uncle Nearest. But see, Uncle Nearest didn't have an entrepreneur's mind. He just was trying to be a contributor to the process. He was working with Jack Daniel, I guess. Say, "Hey, man, I see you making this whiskey. I made something a little bit better. You ought to try this, boss." Malcolm, Colonel Sanders, all these different people that took products and visions from other people and got rich because they had an entrepreneurial spirit, while the person that really came up with the invention of the creation just wanted to be a better contributor and make a better product.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody took advantage of that person that knew that had the heart to make a better product. That person that said that, you know what, if I'm going to be a part of this, I want to make this thing that we're producing the best it can be, since I'm a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, well, you know what, I appreciate your participation and your input, and it is better. Now I'm going to show you how to make this thing get billions.
Mm.
So
Wow.
there's a difference in the person that has the vision and then the person that has the business spirit to profit and provide a service or provide a convenience or a luxury or recreation or just something to fill up your belly. I don't believe in going, but like I said, there's a practical side to this. You know, when you said about paying for the experience and the ambiance, there's some steak place, Texas the Christian or something. I can't remember what the name of it is. I heard they're charging like $120, $140 for steaks.
Mm.
I don't get down like that, man. I don't care what the experience is like. They better have some flying trapeze cooking them steaks and feeding it to me and everything, and actually raising the cows right there in front of me. I mean, man, I ain't fixing to pay that kind of money for no experience. You know what I'm saying? But some people will do it.
Yeah.
And I've done it before. You know, like I had a cousin that played pro football, and he would like to take us out to eat. And every time we went out, it was on him. And I was like, man, don't spend your money like that. But he wanted to spend his money. But then they would bring those plates out, man, and they would be decorated and all pretty. But by the time I was finished, I was still hungry. There's a little bit of portions in it, man. You're paying for the experience. Oh, no, man, look here, take me to American Deli.
Yeah, get me something. Exactly. Hold right there, Rico. Let me keep this thing going. Got a couple people just came on the phone line. Tucson coming to you, but I want to touch on Curtis real quick. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, morning, man. Morning. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, doing good. Curtis, we're talking about entrepreneur. Is everybody an entrepreneur? What is the ingredients of being a good entrepreneur? Or some people just trade my time for money type job, trade my time for money type people. What do you say to that?
I think it's both.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the individuals can't individualize people down to just one thing. They've shown us over and over again that they are not just the one thing that we want them to be.
Mm-hmm. Is there a certain ingredients to being a successful entrepreneur, Curtis?
No, there's no locked in ingredient. I mean, you gotta be steadfast. You know what I mean? I mean, you want to be successful, you better know the product you're selling, good and bad. Entrepreneur always tends to, it kind of goes into what Rico said. Like the entrepreneur, he's an opportunist. So most of the time, most true entrepreneurs, even when the worst of things happen, they have that ability to see where some money can be made off of that good and or services that's being provided. Most successful entrepreneurs honestly believe and has equated in their minds that they're providing a needed service. Most entrepreneurs are extremely transformational because a lot of people think entrepreneur and they just think like one particular business. And most entrepreneurs have probably 9 times out of 10 been involved with 5 or 6 different businesses.
Yeah.
They're not locked down to one particular business.
Good. That's good. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Yeah, I would think they always got a vision or a visual of how something they can make something happen with whatever you're doing. You remember the guy Charles that calls in sometimes?
Yeah.
He got it, and you know he got it. Because he's always, it's clicking in his head. Man, how can I make this happen? You just trying to think about where to stay when you go on a vacation. He's trying to build a building.
Yeah.
So he won't have to spend money on it. He'll already be there because he had a hand in building it. Now, if he build it, then how can I get something out of it? It ain't gonna be for free. Promise you that. But then here's another thing. A lot of business people, they don't spend their money. They spend yours.
Exactly.
To make it happen. They have to get you to buy into whatever they're doing. So we listening to Rico. And Rico, it sounded like you felt like the Cookie Monster at one time. Jumping it up. But yeah, man, I don't, here's the one thing about businesses. This is kind of off a little bit, but the food can be good, but if your service is sucks,
yeah,
you could forget it. I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care how good the food is. The whole experience is lost. But yeah, you just these people when you see a true entrepreneur, when they walk in the room, they trying to make it happen, and you know it. They give you that mind there. You'll know it. But then when you can always see somebody that think they are an entrepreneur, they get into it, but they don't last long.
And some people, truth of the matter, some people are just, and I don't want to say just, but some people are trade my time for money type people. They don't want to be an entrepreneur. They don't want to go out there and have to deal with, because there's a lot of people don't understand. It's a lot of work, man. Sometimes you work harder. A lot of times you work harder, Leonard, as an entrepreneur than you would for working with somebody else or for somebody else.
You almost always work harder. Because who you gonna complain to?
Yeah.
Who you gonna complain to? You human resources and everything else. And then you have to deal with the stress of making a profit.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. Today you may make $50, the next day you may make 10, and the day after that you may make 500. There's a lots of things that go along with that success. That sometimes, if you're willing to get through the rough time, you can be successful. But it's all about what you put into that business.
The time and effort.
You can't blame nobody else for nothing. None of that. And a lot of people it's just to me, it's a cost and benefit type thing. Everybody should weigh that. If you make more money on your own, then that's the answer.
Yeah.
Then that's the answer.
Let me say this to you. We got another call. I'm going to go to the call as well. A lot of times I've heard people say, I want to create my own, I want to be an entrepreneur because I can make my own hours. You don't. Man, you working all day, man.
You can work all the time now. You used to only have to work 8 hours.
Exactly. And now it's an all day situation. You wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and 10 o'clock at night, you still working.
Right. Well, I used to be a commission salesperson in a department store. All I needed was 4 hours in the middle of the day. Sometimes it would be, work that particular sale day or extra hours. But as a salesperson, you always had to manage your time versus how much you would make.
Yeah.
And you wanted the premium hour to work to make the premium money. You don't want to get stuck in there on a Thursday morning or Tuesday morning in a department store selling athletic shoes.
Exactly.
While schooling.
You ain't doing too good. You ain't doing. You just there. Look, not there, but you just there. You just there. Mary, good morning, Mary. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Mary, we talking about entrepreneur. How you doing?
Oh, how are you?
I am doing well. We're talking about entrepreneurs. Is everybody a good entrepreneur? Can everybody be a good entrepreneur? Or are some people just, I'm gonna trade my time for money, work type people? And what do you say to that?
Well, I think being an entrepreneur is trading your work in for money, but I don't think people have a good mentality of being an entrepreneur. I feel like people think that just means you can get up at whatever time quit, like stop working at whatever time. But it's a lot. Being an entrepreneur is a lot. It's a whole lot of work. It's not a part-time thing.
No.
So I don't think people have the mentality for it, but I think being an entrepreneur is, I mean, essentially doing it on your own to get your own profit.
Exactly. But like you said, it's a lot of work. You know, people think that, you know, I could be my own boss, create my own time, make my own hours, and blah, 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 blah. If I don't want to get up in the morning, go to work, I ain't got to. I'm the boss. Well, you can have a very unsuccessful business. Curtis, what do you say to that? Curtis, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, right. I didn't hear what Mary said.
No, she was saying it's a lot of work that goes into it. And I'm asking you, I said to you, I see a lot of time people say they want to be an entrepreneur because they want to be their own boss, set their own hours. If I don't want to go to work in the morning, I ain't got to go to work in the morning. I can lay in the bed till 1 or 2 o'clock and then go to work if I want to. And my response to that is you're going to have a very unsuccessful business as an entrepreneur. What do you say to that? I mean, they could do that if they want to, but it's not going to benefit
them. You can do that after the first 3 or 5 years. The average business scheme, business idea, your first 2 years are going to be your hardest years. And your first few years, you're not going to get a lot of sleep. You and your family might fall apart. I mean, you pretty much going to be in a position where have to sacrifice a lot. Going into it with that idea, I'm gonna lay in the bed. 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna be successful.
No, not at all. Rico, talk to me about this mentality. We got another caller will come to you in just 1 second. But Rico, talk to me about this mentality of them thinking I could lay in the bed to 12 or 1 o'clock. Then I could get up and go to work, man. I'm an entrepreneur. I could do that. And I'm going to be successful. No, you're not.
Well, I guess maybe once you got everything established and it's rolling to the point of where your money making money while you sleep, you probably can. You know, you can hire people to run your grocery store. You can hire people to run your Walmarts or whatever. But deep down inside, you're still going to end up being stagnant if that's the case, because you ain't out trying to look for another way to progress. See, once you decide you want to get into that side of life and your survival, your livelihood is depending on your business, then you also competing with other people that's doing the same thing. And they always trying to find innovative ways, not only to stay ahead, but to keep up. To make sure that they can maintain and be consistent, because there's always somebody else coming out there with another product that may steal your flame. They might take your momentum. You know, Popeye tried it with Chick-fil-A, and it almost worked. It worked to the point where them folks were killing themselves and fighting people over them chicken sandwiches. And somebody that owned Popeye just sitting back collecting checks right about now. They might come checking in on the general manager every now and then, hire a general manager to run the show while they go and take lavish trips. You know, go deep sea fishing. I mean, it does exist. So, you know, I don't want people to think they're, I put it to you this way. There are billionaires that go and travel the world at their leisure. And they depend on other people to report to them about their money. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure they understand the system. See, that's one thing about it. Some people don't have that entrepreneurial spirit because they don't understand the system. They don't know about accounting. They don't know about balancing debit and credit. It's a lot of stuff that they don't really understand, that you have to do research to understand how the market works, how this business works. You have to find out base prices for resources that you need for your business to work. What it's going to cost to get these resources to produce the product that you want. How much money you're going to make so you can make sure you pay your bills and then still can go back and recop the resources. You know, some people learn to be entrepreneurs from dope. They find out then they got to do a little counting. They got to do a little money management. But at the same time, you have to be interested in making money and knowing, understanding that the reason why you're making money is to continue living and surviving and to make your product successful. You have to understand how to make money and how it works. Or you can mismanage it. You can get lazy. You can get comfortable. You get to a certain position and say, well, hey, I done made it. And then this thing, you know, your business goes down the drain. I mean, how many businesses have we seen start great, but then they start floundering because of terrible customer service?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Quality has dropped off, you know. So, yeah, it's a lot in it. I heard Diddy say he don't sleep for 2 hours a day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. Let's keep this thing going. We got quite a few people that's on the phone lines. I think we have Annette. Annette, are you with us?
I am. Hello, gentlemen.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
I am great.
Good to hear you again. Good to hear you. It's been a minute. We're talking about entrepreneurs. What are the ingredients to making us a successful entrepreneur, or some people some people just, I'm gonna trade my time for money type people? What is the difference? What lies the difference?
Well, first of all, it's moving from the personal side of the tax code to the commercial side of the tax code.
Mm-hmm.
And it's saying that, you know, I'm going to take that risk, because
Mm-hmm.
in business, you have to take the risk.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my father, he grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, and at 20, his mother said, I'm going to California. He said, I'm going with you.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that he didn't go to the draft, because he had a wife and 2 children, but he established his real estate brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm taking over the 4 properties that we have left in California that are $1 million properties.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you got to tutelage under somebody. You got to see how business operates, because it's not haphazard. It's really scientific. And to get in business, you have to start with your sole proprietorship, but really move up to an LLC so that you can be protected. You've got to go in and get your DUNS number. And now they're moving to the UEI numbers. And then the largest contractor is the federal government. So with that UEI number now, you need to get into the SAM system, the System for Award Management, so that you can receive the federal contracts according to your industry. So, and then you have to have a team. A lot of people don't like to work in teams, and you can work for a company and you have to work in a team. But why don't you want to work in teams to build your business, and then have your team also take ownership of the business? Instead of saying, I'm the CEO, you got to listen to what I say.
I think a lot of that have to do with some people are greedy, and a lot of times I think some people are very power hungry. They want to be able to think they need to be in charge. And in order, and I was told one time, the greatest leaders are your best followers.
Hey, no doubt. I would suggest that everybody read the book Traction by Gino Wickman. And he does an amazing job of how teams work together, how you have to have those listening sessions, how you have to, you know, complete your 1 year, 3 year, 10-year plans, and it's just so amazing. There is a prescription for being in business.
Absolutely.
So I love entrepreneurship. I mean, it's where it's the next utopia, because you have to have something to sell.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have a business partner out in California, and soon we'll be putting a toothbrush on the market.
That's good. And see, that's an area I want to start a toilet paper company. But that's, people tell me I'm crazy, but hey, everybody need it. I guarantee you everybody need toilet paper. But let me keep this thing going. VP, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am doing well, and yourself?
I'm all right. Hopefully the phone don't act dumb today.
There you go. We're talking about entrepreneurs. What is the ingredients to being a successful entrepreneur, or some people just, I'm gonna trade my time for money type individuals?
I will say living with one. I think if you don't learn to be an entrepreneur, entrepreneur, then I think you're born one. Like it's a leader mentality or an ownership mentality that you have in you. Like for me, I am a pay by the hour person right now. I ain't got no problem with it. My free time is my free time, but that's just how my thought. But with my wife, her free time is money time. So you have to be able to see the world in a way that other people don't. Like I think that was Miss Annette that was just saying that you have to understand that somebody's always willing to buy something. Somebody's always wanting some type of service. And once you figure out what that service is that fits your niche, then you can expound on that and grow yourself. Because that's what an entrepreneur is. It's really growing yourself. It's like a good example of that for me would be like Damon Dash and Jay-Z, where they started the business together, but Jay-Z seen the calculations and like Mr. Nev was saying, he's seen the formula of what it is to become bigger, where Dame was stuck on where he needed to be for his success and what he thought success level was. But if you looked at them both at two different entrepreneurs, one is really grasped the business of this type of this capitalistic type economy, while the other one is more of this is what it is to be a free person and a free thinker. And that's what, to me, an entrepreneur is, someone who likes to freely think and freely move around and freely be, they like to be free.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I would like to say that everybody got some good suggestions about that, but the problem is when you get technical with going in entrepreneurship, then you lose the heart of the business, because it's a very complicated resource to operate a successful business-based environment. However, it's very basic. Like you said, you like toilet paper, right? There's still a need of a niche. There's a niche for that toilet paper. Most people like designer toilet paper, right? People like Senate toilet paper, thicker toilet paper, right? You decide that's what you like, and other people like it. You come around, and you go out and start your toilet paper business. Now, how do you do this? You can purchase some, or you can order a special design, right? Prices is what the market can bear, what people are willing to pay for. So therefore, you got to pay a certain amount in order to make a profit. Put your profit motive in there, right? Also, you got to work harder than you would work on anybody else's business. It's a 24-hour-a-day business to own a business. You got to be knowledgeable in all aspects of business. You don't have to know everything, but you got to have an idea or an inkling what do you need in the whole business, right? And then you go on. You go on from there. Then you expand your business. What other things that attract you? Do you need to have a certain type of a toilet paper hole? Do you know what I mean? Whatever brings things bigger attention to that. Do you need to have a certain type of packaging that you can package other things in it that make your brand, right? What is your brand? What do you want to put into that? That's how people are more successful coming over from smaller countries and less adult countries. They do successful businesses because they're dumb. They're dumb about the tax code issues and everything. They're dumb to this and that. But they have a willingness to have some people around them that know that information. No, you can't go out and travel and have a billionaires don't deal with money. That's one thing that is toxic that'll kill you in a business is money. You forget the money. It's paper. It is a number, right? It is an influence. It's a certain amount of power that you have created, right? That you can expend on something else. Forget money. Forget money as a thing. Don't give it a life, right? Your life is your business. Your life is to take control of your niche and have power in your niche and have people, like you said, word of mouth, some type of basic advertisement, some type of family tradition or trait. You want to put whatever you do to it, right? It is you. It is you. It's got to emulate you, right? You got to have things that people need and also need. You go to the wants, right? They need toilet paper to go. What do they want with the toilet paper? What else they want to do with it? They want to clean their glasses with it, right? Do they want to take the makeup off? All these things are very important when you look into that because then you can take a rock off the ground, right? And you can become a billionaire by picking out rocks out the ground. You understand what I'm saying? There's a business for it. There's a need. T-shirts. You can become a billionaire doing T-shirts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you got, you can focus everything that comes into the T-shirt. Now, all of a sudden, you get to be ordering T-shirts for somebody. But now you like a certain grade of cotton, so you start ordering cotton. You start ordering material basics, right? Then you find people that are stitching and sew it up. You go into a manufacturing business. You hire more people. You're becoming more valuable. Your cost. I go on and on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know me.
Get it.
But
get it. No.
Hold on.
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing that everybody can do this, right? Everybody can start, but very few people make it to the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
But like I said again, forget the money. When you go in there, if you're doing it just for the money, you're gonna, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna fail unless you're raising somebody else's business. You buy it up and then sell it for a higher rate. It's like switching out,
Exactly.
Switching house and stuff like
exactly.
That, right? Okay,
exactly. Let me. Hey, I appreciate that, brother. You put a lot out there, man. I definitely appreciate that. Leonard, talk to me. Mary, coming to you next. Okay, Leonard, you're muted, brother. We can't hear you.
I think most people understand that if you're going to have a business, you need to really want to be successful. And you shouldn't think, so one type of business I don't like is that mind frame of business where you think I owe you something.
Mm-hmm.
You just give me what you want and get out of here. That's a horrible way to run a business where you think somebody owe you.
Yeah.
Your patronage. And I think that's one of the things that causes most people the problem is, some people who, if you've ever been a salesperson, being a salesperson can be very difficult. It helps if you got something people want anyway. Is it like I say, is it an alternative or is it a specialty that you have? I'm more into what the product that's being presented and how it's being presented. Doesn't matter to me how hard you work for, because I don't care.
Yeah.
You have to have a great product in order for me to purchase your product. And if you want me to repeatedly purchase your product, it has to be the same way every time, all the time. I don't, some people don't want to worry about all those things. Sometimes it makes sense to go and work for someone else. Because really what you're trying to do is, you're trying to do what? Get a profit somehow. In a market, what do you have to offer the market? Some people have labor to offer to the market. Some people have products to offer to the market. And we just go back and forth until they become, one day they'll become balanced. But there's so much competition there. You have to have a great plan. You have to have a good plan. And you have to work the good plan. I think, like I say, some people gonna get lucky and they're gonna hit that perfect vegan burger that people want. So anything that you think that you can use to make a profit, you should be doing that. And we see people doing that.
I think I heard somebody say. I heard somebody say a second ago. Luck has nothing to do with it. I beg to differ. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. You want to be good. You want to be absolute. You want to be amazing at what you're doing. But sometimes, sometimes it's better to be. Sometimes it's just as good to be lucky than to be good. And so I think luck has does play a part in it. Mary, what do you say to that? Mary?
Like, do you have to be lucky?
Well, sometimes it's good to be lucky, because I heard somebody saying in the background that luck don't have any. Leonard say luck, and somebody said luck don't have anything to do with it. I beg to differ from that. I think sometimes luck does play a part. Sometimes you have to be lucky. Sometimes you have to be lucky in order to be successful. Sometimes it takes a part of luck in order to do that. Everybody mute your line. Here's the background noise coming from somebody's line. Mute your line until I call on you, so we don't have that. Want to make sure we're putting the best product out there. What do you say to that, Mary? Is it good to be lucky?
I think it's always good to be lucky, but I don't think it's more so luck. I think it's just being persistent, and then things happen. I don't think it's. I don't think it's.
Some people call that luck. Some people call that luck now.
Like some people.
Some people call that luck as well. I understand what you're saying, and you're making great, perfectly good sense. But sometimes people call it the luck of the draw, or I got lucky today, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and it all played out perfectly. I was lucky. Or the spiritual people say I was blessed.
I think we misconstrue luck with a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't think it's luck. I think if it's meant, then you'll be blessed with it. I don't think it's a luck factor, because I don't think that's what that is, personally. But if you do, then that's beautiful.
Okay. I like I say, sometimes, and I've heard people say it, man, I'd rather be lucky than good. I've heard people say I'd rather be lucky than good. And so it depends on the individual, I guess. It depends on the individual. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Badger, we're talking about entrepreneur. I know you've been listening because you commented a little bit, but what's on your heart, man, about entrepreneur, man? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Or some people just, I'm gonna trade my time for money, work kind of people?
I mean, if it works for them, I think some people are absolutely excellent at it. I don't think it really hurts anything. There are people that never make it to management. That's just not their thing. I'm one of those people. So yet I am man, dude.
Come on, Badger.
It's just one of those things that, like, why does it matter if someone's being an entrepreneur or not? To me, the only thing that should be balanced or like questioned about is, are they hurting people or not?
No, you going a different direction, brother. It's not a thing of whether it matter or not. I'm asking, what is it that goes into making a very successful entrepreneur, or some people just the I'm going to trade my time for money type situation. It's not whether it's going to hurt anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I took it not in the way you were wanting it. Okay. I mean, to be an entrepreneur, you just have to know your market. You've got to know what you're good at. If it's something that's good on the internet, then that's what you do. If you're good with talking and things like that, and people just like to listen to you talk, that's what a lot of Twitch streamers and stuff do. They're entrepreneurs. They figured out how to make money on the internet. So it's figuring out what you're good at, then learning how to balance finances and finding the right market, and then going from there. But I do advise that someone that's just starting out, if they don't already know about it, getting in touch with someone that's a financial advisor.
Yeah, learn the money. Yeah, that's good.
Learn the money.
508-924-3521. 508-924-3521 is the number. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We hear you. Man, you chilling out this morning, ain't it?
Yeah. We're trying to get an early start today.
Yes, sir.
Somebody invited me to the New York Yankees game later on this evening.
Okay.
I got to move around. To go from New Jersey into New York, it's almost an hour and a half to get to anywhere in New York from New Jersey.
Lord.
So I try to get an early start. I got to get a haircut and get ready for this. I'm excited about it. As long as I was in New York City for 20 years, I never went to a Yankees game.
Wow.
So
wow.
We're looking forward to that. But good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, I see Professor. Good morning, Professor. Good seeing you.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Look, y'all are something else. But look at here.
We the blues brothers. Come on now.
There you go. Exactly. We're talking about this morning entrepreneurship. Is it a good or bad? Oh, we just lost him. We just lost him. Okay, there you go. Coming back. There we go. Get him back in there. We're talking this morning about entrepreneurship, and is it a good or a bad thing to be an entrepreneur? Or some people, Captain, or some people just, I'm going to trade my time for money, work kind of people. What do you say to that?
Man, that's a no-brainer, man. Yes, it's everybody should be an entrepreneur. I mean, that's what keeps the economy going, man. That allows people to. That's called trade and commerce. No, I totally agree that we should always encourage to be an entrepreneur. That's a man that's on a daggone highway, and I was just seeing him. He got bottled water. He's selling cold in a hot day.
Yeah.
Bottled water for $1. He's in his shorts and his wife beater. He's an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guess where he get the water? He goes to the fire hydrant that's running, and he fill up the bottles.
Lord.
Wait a minute. He fill up the bottles and he come and sell it back to you. And you can't beat that kind of hustle, man. New York know how to hustle, man.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I think, yes, sir. I think, brother, there's no question that we should always encourage entrepreneurs. And what was the next part of that question? I'm sorry.
It are some people just the I'm gonna trade my time for money, work type people.
They're gonna trade their time
for money. Yeah, go on the job basically.
Let me say this, time is valuable. There's no question about it. I think sometimes we who are committed to trying to do the right thing, we have to put time in. It ain't about the money sometimes. It's about putting time in. So I think it all depends how they trade their time in for money. If their time is valuable, and if their time means something, and if their time achieve a goal that satisfies the person, then I think good. I think it's good to trade time for money. All money ain't good money, man. If I ain't learned nothing else, man, all money ain't good money. That's my point. All right.
Exactly. Tucson, talk to me.
Yeah, I think that one thing that when you said lucky, it's kind of like cheap
Tucson, we can't hear you, brother. Tucson,
somebody saying something?
No. Go ahead.
No. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, we don't like to use certain words. That's about it. But if you like to sleep till 12 o'clock, you're not an entrepreneur. You're gonna fail. Sleep too much, rest too much, take too many breaks, not willing to sacrifice. You're not gonna make it. I don't even think you make it on the job. But some people.
But Tucson, I'm my own boss, man. Why can't I sleep until 12? I'm the boss, man. Why can't I sleep until 12 o'clock?
You're the boss. Yeah, you're the boss. Let's see how that works out for you. Keep on.
Man, look here.
Look. You got to wake the chickens up sometime.
But see,
you got to be up before the rooster crows.
At least 2 days a week, I'm sleeping until 12 o'clock, man. I ain't getting up out of my bed.
Go ahead, knock yourself out. Let's do like a dude, and I just, I don't, I think that he's, that's my dude. I guess I call him Fred. But Steve Harvey don't sleep much. He always into something. He a busy man.
Yeah.
Is everything seem like everything he put his hand on comes to gold? That's not luck. He's pursuing his dream, his desires. He's making it happen. You got to make it happen. It's not gonna fall into your hands. He's touching one thing. He try to figure out how he can do this, that, and the other with it. And then he'll bring the right people in his environment to make it happen. You can't pick everybody to join you because everybody's not. The worst thing you can do is be a busy person trying to get it, and you bring somebody that's not trying to get it with you.
Yeah.
That's a tag along. You know, so anyway, I'm. This is one of them conversations that I bet off. But I will say this. Sometimes we figure that everybody should be an entrepreneur, and people that's on a job, they just have the wrong type of mentality. Well, well.
We're gonna leave it right there. We're gonna leave it right there. Charles, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I can't complain. Can't complain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, Charles, we talking about this morning entrepreneur. We talking about entrepreneurship. Is everybody can everybody be a successful? Now, that word successful entrepreneur, or are some people, Charles, just that I'm going to trade my time for money type individuals? What do you say to that?
I believe we're all individuals, and as the brother was talking about, everybody can't be an entrepreneur. But, and y'all know we hear the saying, everybody got that 24 hours. We just do different things with our 24 hours. And when you say successful, that's subjective, because somebody that has a double wide trailer right now, they can be successful in their own mind. So wherever your success lies, that's just where you'll be. So I see nothing wrong with it. We all want something different. My success is different from everybody else's.
That's good. That's good. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Curtis, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, what's on your heart? And that coming to you next.
There ain't much more to be said about this entrepreneurial thing. I think everybody done covered it. Any more jewels we can give out to explain what it is. You just got to be willing to those sacrifices, man. A lot of entrepreneurs, and if you know it or not, a lot of entrepreneurs, they go through divorces, man. But it's a hard life to try and live. Real hard life to try and live. And on top of that,
Hey, Curtis, you're breaking up on us, brother. You're breaking up on us.
Yeah, you got some real tough skin, because you're going to hear no way more than you're going to hear yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's good. That's good. And what's on your heart?
I just think it's really amazing subject, because when I ran for U.S. Congress in 1994, that was my first stint into politics, and a friend who was a United States congressman, he said, "What can I do for you?" I said, "Let me come up to D.C. Let me learn, how to navigate." And I spent 2.5 months in D.C. learning how to navigate. He was on the House Ways and Means Committee. His name is Matt Collins, and he was not African American. And I learned so much about how to navigate government systems, what's available. And what I found out is that Black Americans weren't even in the game of business, of accelerating your taxes so that you don't have to pay, all the taxes, because you're lending to the economy. And so I'm with, everyone to say that you gotta research your business. I helped a medical supply company in California. It was a good friend of mine, 30-year nurse, wanted to be a nurse entrepreneur. I said, okay, let me join you as your COO, and let's scale this thing up. So we have scaled it up to a medical supply company with a philanthropic arm to give out Heroes of Health Award. Yesterday, we gave that award to Debbie Allen for really promoting health and wellness through dance. So you just got to have a vision. And you got to work at it every day. It's something that you're doing every day, and it's milestones that you set for yourself every month. Because they used to say, if you don't plan, you plan to fail.
Absolutely.
And I think that sometimes failing at things gives you another fire up under your tail to get it in. And so you have to really get into the game. I did a post on LinkedIn today where I said that, the sky is the limit, but you gotta collaborate. You know, you gotta be able to work with people. You know, because it is about business. And so when you learn the business, I saw a woman just started a mining consultancy, you know, for oil and gas. Come on, get it in. And I just believe that you have to first have the mind frame, right? The mind frame, and then you got to make a plan. You got to have a business plan. And I tell everybody, I was a coach for United Way until they cut the micro business enterprise. But you have to do a business plan. And I think the best business plan is Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, you can put in all your information, it spits you out a business plan, and then you have a plan to work with. You got to get an organized plan to work with.
And share that information with my listeners. That you say Wells Fargo, they have something on there. How does one get there?
Yeah. Well, business plan, I'll send to you. Also, what you need to do with it is what I recommend.
You're breaking up in that. You're breaking up kind of bad there. Something going on with the phone system. You're breaking up. Say that one more time for me. Sorry about that. Okay. Let me come back to you because you're breaking up real bad. I'm gonna come back to you. You might be in a bad area. I don't know if you're traveling, but you might be in a bad area right now because you know it's very, very choppy. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Okay, yeah, I figured you was. Yeah, you're in a bad spot right now. I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna come back to you.
No. Okay. All right.
Okay, Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
What's on my heart, man? Personally, I believe in order of importance. And with all the things we got going on in our community, this is like near the bottom because this ain't gonna work unless we get the other things in order. But I'm like sort of trying to continue being interested in it. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't say what I said and heard everybody else say what they're saying, and it's almost getting to be about on repeat. I don't know what else to say. I mean, you know, some people have their entrepreneur spirit. Yes. Do some people like to trade their time for money? Yes. Is it bad? No. Depending on what they're trading their time doing, what they're doing for that money, it might be bad, you know. But it ain't, you know, really, it's not too much more I could say. You know, I done heard a lot of good information, but I mean, I don't know how much more further I could go on even, you know, having a comment. So you just go into the next person. I'll catch the next topic.
Okay. Badger, what's on your heart? What's on your heart, brother?
I'm kind of where the others are. When it comes to entrepreneurship, you know, it's if you're wanting to do it, just take the time to learn, reach out to people that are doing it, learn how to do it. Like we've covered everything, so we're just going to be repeating things at this point.
Okay. Now watch this, Charles. Entrepreneurship is that something that changes every day? Is there something new that you can learn every day in regards to being an entrepreneur?
Before I answer that, I have to speak on Wells Fargo. So, and it's very short. I need everybody, if you want to mess with Wells Fargo, go watch Dirty Money on Netflix. And they have they just a disparity in lending to Black people. And y'all can go look at it for yourself. And all that means is there is a lot of lost wealth if you can't refinance your home at the same rate as other people. And there's something in the news right now. New York City won't even open Wells Fargo accounts over just racial disparity. So, you know, whoever wants to look at it, just type it in online and go check that out.
Okay.
As far as entrepreneurship, I feel that, you know, we all should be lifelong learners, and that can be I think a piece of entrepreneurship, just wanting to learn. I think our biggest thing right now is how hard it is to learn when a lot of people are in survival mode. So we can say, like, you know, start this business or get this company or go get this money and things like that. But a lot of people are in survival mode, meaning that we don't know where making sure that the bills can be met and everything like that. And I think a lot of that's going to continue to happen. You know, where everybody sees a recession, and a lot of people don't want to discuss the reality of what's going to happen, what may happen. You know, but I don't see it getting better. Like all of a sudden everything's going to be great. You know, I think some cities and states are giving out this funding right now, surplus money, and it's going around from state to state now. But you know, for the survival thing and entrepreneurship, I think it goes hand in hand. It's hard to focus in on most people getting off of work and trying to work their second job. And it's like, wow, if I get off this job and try to work this second thing that I really want to do that hopefully can make some money, maybe in 2 to 3 years. People don't have 2 to 3 years. We have now. So entrepreneurship may be taking a backseat, even though a lot of people were forced into it due to the pandemic. You know, see, I literally did some studies on this and how a lot of people started businesses at home because they were forced into, you know, some people were let go and things like that. So entrepreneurship just takes on a different meaning, but it's all about learning every day, really, and figuring out what you can do and what can make you happy.
Charles, do you ever, as an entrepreneur, do you ever stop learning?
I don't personally. I have to be learning something new. That's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, or you continue to sharpen your axe, and because you don't, for me, you know, you sharpen that axe because you never know when you're going to use it. And I have so much useless information for me that I find out about. I'm like, oh, okay. Whenever am I going to use that? But later on, you may feel like you may use that information to give to somebody else who can use it and take it the rest of the way. But it's just like, man, I learned all this stuff, but a lot of people come to me for information, and I just guide people to say, oh, you might need to check over here because I learned this piece. Even though I'm not using it, I give it to somebody else, and they can, you know, go do their own due diligence and see if it's going to work for them.
Absolutely.
That's how I look at entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. Larry, what do you say to that, man? As an entrepreneur, do you ever cap out with your knowledge, with what you're learning?
I don't think so. Like Charles said, he's motivated every day to do something new and continue learning things, because that's entrepreneurship. You're always sharpening your skills. You're always looking for the next venture.
Yeah.
That's just what you do. I mean, anybody, you can tell the people who think they know everything when they start a business, because they're usually out of business very soon. You know, there are some things that we tolerate in business that don't make it on certain sides of town, for instance. You know, or say, for instance, one particular business that don't require a lot sometimes is the nightclub business, for instance. How many times have you been to a nightclub and it's been the same for 20 years?
Yeah.
It's because that's what worked for them. They're happy they're doing that. That's what you expect. If a person can make a certain amount of money doing that, then that's what they're going to keep doing, because they found what makes it work for them. But soon profits dip. They may start moving. Hey, you know what? We may need to add some outdoor lounge to the club. You know, when they notice business start falling off. So people react different ways to business. You may have something great today and something come out better tomorrow from your competitor. So if you're sitting still thinking that, you know, you don't have to learn anymore or anything like that, you probably gonna be behind your competition. That's one thing.
Exactly. And that was my point, and the reason why I wanted to go in that direction, because I don't want anybody to think that you could be an entrepreneur and learn everything, to have everything right there and stop and be stagnated, because you'll find yourself second, third, or last. Captain, what do you say to that? We got another call. We're gonna go to the call as well. What's on your heart, Cap?
I'm like Rico, man. You know, I mean, you got us here. We men, at least I am. I like good conversation in some areas that it just don't interest me, man. You know, I like to, everybody's saying the same thing. That's like asking us, Captain, why is water wet? You know, can you explain? You know, I mean, I hear you, brother. I was trying to figure out, Ryan, you just explained, why is he going in this direction? Because there's so much that we can be talking about that would stimulate the minds and the thoughts of these great men and women on this line. So I want to say about it. I mean, you know, I know one thing, this is an old saying, if you wake up broke, you should never went to sleep. So that's the philosophy. If you wake up broke, you should never went to sleep. I think that, you know, I don't have no more else to into the conversation, my brother.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to say before, in this topic before we move to the next one?
You know what, Raheem?
Yes, sir.
I do want to add for the listeners. It's okay to be second, third, or last. A good entrepreneur knows I might not want to be first on this deal, or I might not want to be first on this particular situation and or circumstances, because the first one, you know, I remember something Obama said. Obama said it's always hard being the first. It's always hard being the first at anything. So, you know, a good entrepreneur, you know, your niche is everything. That's your whole bottom line right there, your niche. That's how you make your sales, that's how you gain your contracts. It's your niche, right? But sometimes when you in a competitive market, sometimes you gotta let the baby bull go on and run down the hill.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You gotta walk. Sometimes you gotta know when to walk down that hill so that you can get it all.
Yes, sir.
As opposed to just getting one.
Exactly. Exactly.
Raheem.
Yes.
I do want to say this, right? There's a prescription for being in business, right? Supplier diversity is very big. So 51% diverse companies, minority companies. There are a lot of companies looking for you. So you can joint venture. To me, there's so much out there for us. I mean, it's just incredible. But, you know, if you don't take the leap, you don't get to leapfrog. And if you look at the companies BlackRock, Berkshire Hathaway, and some of these companies, you know what? They have positioned themselves so they own everything within the major industries, from healthcare to education to real estate, you know, and now they're doing digital assets. So, you know, we do have to take the time to look at these industries and decide, hey, you know what? I am going to do this because they did it. Yeah. And we used to be entrepreneurs post Reconstruction, and I'll end there.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Toya with a T. I didn't see you sneak in. Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Morning, y'all. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. We're talking about entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, and you are one. You're an entrepreneur. Can you ever stop? Can you ever stop?
No, that's what my master's is in.
Exactly. Now, can you ever stop learning?
No. As long as your eyeballs open and you got a brain with activity, you always got ability to learn.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Go ahead, sis.
And somebody else wanted to say something just now.
Yeah, that was me. And I know we brought up, you know, if you mind coming in second, third, or fourth, I don't care if it's fifth. If you're in the race, you know, for me, it's like, let's get off the couch and do something. And I think winners focus on winning and losers focus on the winners.
Yeah.
There's a picture out there. Michael Phelps is running his race. He's a Olympic swimmer. He probably won like 7 or 8 gold medals. He's in first place, and the guy next to him is looking at him while he's winning the race, while Michael Phelps is winning the race. So I look at Nike and I look at Reebok. Nike is a juggernaut out there in the sneaker world. Reebok is still out there, though.
Yes.
Converse is still out there. So I tend not to worry too much about what other people are doing. I work on myself, but not to say you can't look at your competition to make sure that you're in the same, because we all have to make sure that we're, you know, staying up on what's the latest and greatest and changing up our model. But if we surround ourselves with the right people, it's not always us. You don't always have to be in the front. You can surround yourself with the right people, the right core, because we can't do it all. And that's how we win. as a group. You can't do it by yourself. You definitely want to do that. You can only go so far until you get people to say, okay, well, this person is good at marketing. This person is this person, and just bring them all together.
Exactly.
And that's what I pride myself on. I'm looking to work for good people or work with good people so we can move this train down the road.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Get ready to change up the topic. Get ready to change up the topic. And Captain, I'm coming to you first. Captain, are you there? Captain, you there? Captain.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I'm gonna ask this question right here, and I want everybody to answer it in the way that they want to answer it. I'm not here to give anybody their answer. The United States of America, have the last several years taught us that we're more divided than we are united. And one of the issues is this Roe versus Wade situation, where every state, you got certain states are saying we're going to allow abortion, other states saying they're not going to allow abortion. You got so many different things going out there. United States of America, how united are we, Captain?
Well, there's no question America is more divided than she's ever been. There's no question. I mean, we can all see the division. It was very interesting that you talked about the abortion issue. I just read an article the other day that white people have more deaths than they have births. I didn't know that. I don't know how legitimate that article is, but it's circling on social media that they have more deaths than they have more births. So that's zero. So I'm thinking, wow, if that's the case and they overturn women's ability to abort if they choose to do that, I don't think it was for us. I really it was for white people trying to stop white women, who's the majority who get abortion, and saying, listen, stop aborting life. We losing. And out. So I thought, this is the first time I thought about it like this, that their attitude is to stop white women, who's the majority. You think we taking and do abortion? No. The majority of abortion is done by white women. And I think those conservatives, their attitude is, man, we losing. If you don't stop your own kind from killing the baby at the womb, and you got zero population, meaning for one death is one life, and you got more deaths than you got life, then you are going to become extinct. It ain't about us. It ain't about trying to stop black folks. No, I sincerely now believe that these conservatives did that to stop white women from aborting life so they would not become an extinct people. I don't know if I answered the question, but that was on my heart, man.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's good. And we talked about how united is the United States of America, and that's just another element right there of how we can say that or understand that it's really divided. There's a huge divide here. And what do you say to that? How united is the United States of America?
It's the United States of America. It is united. See, a lot of times, you know what propaganda does in the media? It has us to go negative all the time instead of say, well, let's look at this comprehensively, right? And you'd be surprised. Black women are born their baby at 800,000 per year. That is our economy. We gotta look at this a little bit differently, and that's the hard part that people are not. If you see the people marching, just check out who's in the streets, right? And a gentleman who I saw on TV, his last name is Warren, but he's saying, no, I've got his organization is care.net. And he said, no, I got to get right now. I developed an organization a long time ago to get men to understand that fatherhood starts at conception. So he is trying to get the black men to understand that you're responsible too. Let's get together. Let's raise these kids like we should be doing, like when my grandmother had 9 children. Okay. And I think we're not looking at it. We're looking at it adverse because here is a conservative court. No. Can you get to the details?
See, my thing is this, and my thing, and the way that I brought this, I presented this was this way, it being divided. We not necessarily see it's going, but who's doing more abortion? Who? That's not the point of what I was talking about. My thing was it being so divided, United States of America being so divided in their ideology as to how they're dealing with it. Because you got in the United States of America, you got certain states, and I had a map. I pull that map back up. Some states are for the abortion, some states are against the abortion, and some states are tailoring the fence one way or another. That's what I'm talking about. The divide. It's not. I'm not necessarily talking about who's having the most abortions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Believe me, I'm an academician, brother. I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
But you're pushing a conversation in a way that it doesn't have to be divided.
No.
But if you want to use that word,
hold on one second.
Then you push division.
And that.
You
got to
use the word. Hold on one second. Let me give you one word, and I'll stop.
Hold on, sis. You trying to overtalk me on my show, sis? I can't let you do that. Come on now. You much too educated to do that. Come on, Annette. Don't do that. My thing is this, right? You saying I'm pushing a certain way. I'm asking for everybody's opinion. I put the question out there and I say what's on your heart. You taking this thing in another direction outside of what I'm talking about. You're putting your titles and everything out there, sis. That's not what I'm asking you for. That's not what I'm asking you for. I'm asking you for your opinion. And that's all I'm asking you for. Can I have that? Your mic is back on.
Yes, and I'm giving that to you. You got to look at it as a protection. States can decide what they want to do, and those states have said, look, we're going to protect all our people because life is important. And that's all I will say.
Not all states say that, though. Some states are for it, some states are against it. I'm talking about the divide in the United States of America. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I don't never look for a one way to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
What people choose is what they choose. To me, it is an individual issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always on the side with the most freedom possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I would prefer it go back to the way it was, where this was a choice that between a woman and her doctor.
Okay. But my question, let's get back to my initial question, is the United States of America being divided in the way that they're dealing with. And I just used the abortion as just one topic. There's so many different things where we're so divided in the way that we think, in the way that we do things, in the way that we operate. We're divided in so many different ways.
That's a natural thing when you have so many people participating. You would expect there to be different opinions. There's never going to be just one opinion for everybody.
So where are we united?
Rationally, it doesn't make sense. We don't even have to be united.
Wow.
We really don't. There are some people that are going, like, say, for instance, some people don't need a law to determine whether or not they're going to have an abortion or not. Some people simply don't need that law. Some people don't need no religion or anything else. They're just going to do what they want to do. And that is completely natural for people to do what they want to do. I don't believe that people have to sit around and all come up with some same idea like they're robots and connected to some internet with some server that's making them choose certain things. We didn't start as a unified country. And we're united enough to maintain our sovereignty. We're united enough to govern ourselves.
That's
things of that nature.
That's question because
America has said in the top three.
If that be the case, we won't have all the atrocities going on in the street. But let's keep this thing moving.
America has said in the top three.
Hold on. Toy, you want to tell what's on your heart? What do you say about this United States of America? Are we really united? Talk to me, sis.
Of course we are. Yeah, we're united. Because everybody's blowing up stuff, right?
Say it again.
I mean, it's I know it's hard to see. And I go about this all the time, but yeah, we are united. Because the United States stick together on a certain set of rules that makes us the so-called greatest country in the world that everybody wants to come to. Despite our past, despite our flaws, and despite our stupidity. Everybody wants to come here because of the freedom that we have, even if some of our freedoms we don't think is necessary. Are we united? Yes, we are. But now it's up to you. You go kick your own child. People make me sick. Oh, Sophia's. Oh, it's not a baby. Okay, well, if I would have killed you when you was a fetus, would you be here? No. Get your grown raggedy behind that. God don't need no help killing no child. God don't need no help committing murder. So if we're going to be united in the United States, that means we all have an opportunity to collectively get together on certain specific issues that we believe in, and that's what makes us united as the states.
Okay.
Even though
Toya, let me ask you a question.
We support.
Let me ask you a question,
walk
Toya.
around and do smoke like Afghanistan.
Toya,
you know.
Toya, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question real quickly. You say that we are united. Can you give me some examples of where we're collectively all united?
Yeah, as a state, we're all united when it comes to freedom.
Wow.
We're all united when it comes to just freedom, because we all agree no one gets to have a right to walk around and murder, kill, steal, and destroy anymore. Now, humans may still do it, but all the states in the United States agree with that. All of us agree with not having slavery anymore. I know it's hard to tell. But we ain't got it no more, right? There are hundreds and hundreds of things that we are united on. And that's what we have to focus on. We sound like kids right now. Your mom and dad is united, even though they fight. So when it comes to things like abortion, this is life. So now the federal government is stepping in and being united and say, hey, humans, we can't continue to murder other little humans that don't even have a chance, that never had a chance. Jesus never had a chance when it comes to abortion. That God believed on him. And I believe that that's the united decision they came from, and they're leaving it back to you leaders in states, and back to you leaders of your homes to make those certain decisions. That the United States says we're not going to support. If you still want to do certain things, you can do that, and there will be consequences behind it. So let's not forget about the great place we're in. We're united on paying somebody for working. It might not be enough, but we're united on that. We're united on making decisions for each state and not having the federal run everything, run your household, run your womb, run your schools, run your, you know what I'm saying? So we just can't be sidetracked by the smoke and guns, and understand that there are a lot of things that we're still united about, and a lot of things.
But at the same time, there also, if we say that there's a lot of things that we are still united on, there's also the other side of the coin. And like to deal with both sides of the coin. There's also the other side of the coin where there's a lot of things where we're not united on. And so that's the part I'm talking about right now. See, it's okay to paint a picture, but you have to use all the colors. You can't just use this color, that color, that color. If you're gonna paint a picture, you have to use all the colors that's on that picture. Otherwise, you're gonna have an incomplete picture.
Right. So you're saying that we're talking specifically about abortion is what we're not united on right now, right?
Well, no. What I'm speaking on right now is when you say that there's a lot of things that we are united on, and I can agree with you. There are some things that we're united on, but there's also the other side of the coin. There's other issues where we're not united on at all. At all.
That may be that. I mean, no, you're right. That's true. But I think this is the key thing. What we're experiencing in America compared to other countries, I mean, I'm just saying, it kind of speaks for itself. You're absolutely right. Out of just using a fake number, out of the 1,000 issues it takes to operate, run, and maintain the United States, we got 800 of them, and 200 of them are not united. Majority is still going to rule.
But see, that to me, and I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying I want to go to somebody else because I don't want to do too much talking myself. But my thing is this right here. When I look at that, I say, well, I'm gonna go over there on that side of town because they stab me. Over here, they're gonna shoot me, but I'm still hurt. What makes one better than the other? And the reason why I say that, because if you say, well, we better than all the other countries, it's almost like, okay, they're gonna give me poison that's gonna kill me instantly, but over here they're gonna give me poison. I might live a couple of more days if I drink their poison. So I'm gonna go over here because it's less. You're still gonna die. But anyway,
that's just true. And Raheem, let me throw this out there, right? Because I heard a comment about the abortion. So Margaret Singer, she called it the Negro Project. And it's a lot of clues on why we know it was geared for Black people. I just want to throw that out. That's right.
Okay, cool.
That's right. Good throw out.
Cool. Let's keep this thing going. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? I'm loving the conversation, though. Everybody, and that's why we do this, because everybody, we're not gonna agree. And it's a beautiful thing that we don't sometimes, because we deal with all the perspectives and all the different angles. That's why I love this right here. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? Okay.
We have achieving the American dream. is a figment of some people's imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and I understand the concept of United States of America. But I'm just talking about the face value of our attitudes when it comes to everybody as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
We have never been together.
Never.
Since day one, divide and conquer. Now we good at that.
Mm-hmm.
I say we.
Yeah.
But there's a them that almost tries to continue to control the narrative, and everybody has the desire to follow after that dream, to cause us to feel like we're united. But how you can be united when you say everybody but them? So y'all continue with your conversation.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Curtis, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Talk to me.
I've heard some very valid points. But when has America ever truly been united? It hasn't. It hasn't. And that's it's an inconvenient truth.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't.
Yes.
And when you speak in terms of abortion, I find it very ironic and very hypocritical that at the same time that you're taking these rights that belong to these women away, you allow for 22 kids to die in school, and you do nothing about it. I think it's very ironic and hypocritical at the same time that you allow for these women's rights to be taken away. You deny them the ability to get additional Similac and milk for those very same babies that you call yourself fighting so hard for, the lives of these kids that you're fighting so hard for.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to use my analytical eye, I would say that there is a consistent push to create a new poor class in America. Now, some people will disagree with me on that because they'll say the spirit of entrepreneurship is thriving, and we're bringing folks out of poverty and this, that, and the third. Well, that's not what the data shows. That's not what inflation shows us right now. When I got a small car and it's still costing me almost $150 a week to put gas in my car. Yes. But my job is not giving me no more than 58 cents per mile in reimbursement, but the price of gas is 10 times more than 58 cents. Come on, y'all. Come on now. We ain't gonna ride in that clown car because ain't none of us clowns.
Exactly.
Notice I said ain't none of us clowns. So I don't, and I done did everything that America says that I was supposed to do. I done did everything they said I was supposed to do. But I've also been in that position to where the division of America halted my career on several occasions. On several. So I'm sorry. I have to take, and I had bought the Kool-Aid too. I bought it, drank it, made it, drank it again. But I have to accept what is real from what is the illusion. See, I'm gonna end like this. See, in film, right? In film, there's this formula that they use. I do not know the name of it, but a guy will take 3 dots and put them on a paper, right? Basically, the formula is I put 3 dots on a paper. I ask you what you see. Most people will say, "Oh, I see 3 dots." Once I connect those dots, I'll say, "What do you see?" Most people will say a triangle, right? So now the formula is with film is to allow for you to see the triangle, although the only thing I gave you was 3 dots. That's what film does to you. So, you know, people talk this propaganda thing, and you made a statement. Someone made a statement. I think it was Cap that made the statement about initially about it being about white life. Well, we just heard Senator Shelley say it at a rally. We just heard that.
Yeah.
If you, for those of you who, for whatever reason, don't deal with the homie Roland Martin, you know, because sometimes he do go a little too far for me too. But then sometimes I have to really listen to what he's saying. Roland Martin did a study on one of his shows where they actually broke down all of those clinics that were closed down. This is even before the paperwork was signed and the Supreme Court had come out. Well, all of those places that it was closed down, they were in predominantly Caucasian American neighborhoods. They wasn't in African American neighborhoods.
Wow.
Then we heard that.
Wrap it up, Curtis.
Let's clear some things up right here, and I'm zipping it up now. I'm landing the plane. Then we heard that Planned Parenthood was using federal dollars to pay for abortions, and that's a lie. When you go to Planned Parenthood to have an abortion, Planned Parenthood you got to pay out your pocket for that. That is not funded. We forget all of those schemes where they sent the dude in acting like he was this and acting like he was that. We forget, man, and it's all a smokescreen to cover up what I believe is true. True entrepreneurship is to cover up the fact that we need a working poor or poor class so that we can continue to make money. If there's no money, if everybody is
gotta keep it moving, Curtis.
upper middle class,
gotta keep it moving. Good deal. Gotta keep it moving,
bro.
Hicks, good morning, sir. Hicks, what do you say about that, man? United States of America. How united are we?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody. My thoughts is that from the very initial, it seems like it's always been divided, and that's basically because this experiment was the first time that man was going to rule himself based off the principle that he had rights that was given to him by a creator, not by kings, not by bloodlines, not by the British and their whole ideas. So from the very beginning, there's been an opposition to this whole experiment. Even now, my thoughts about the vision about everything is that it's basically this. Are people going to rule themselves? Do we need a king, a savior, give a president more powers to be able to call all those things? So yeah, it's divided. But when you compare it to all the other situations and rules, the way the people who govern rule themselves on the earth now, it's the best. It's the best option because if it's aligned to stay by those principles. Again, not a democracy, you know, that's what majority rule, but a republic based on some things that we all agreed on. Whatever, that's the Constitution. So this whole Roe versus Wade thing was initially true. The courts was acting as advocates. They were doing. They made it a right. Even now people think it's all right. You have a right to decide to kill a baby. I don't know if it's a right. I mean, yeah, certain circumstances. So trying to find that balance between the two parties, the two different ideas, is okay. Let's put some limits on it there. Let's get some certain circumstances that make it necessary to even consider. But when you get down to the thing, it gets so much like a push thing now that even after the baby is born, after 9 months and the baby's alive, you can decide at that point whether you want to still have this baby. And if that mother who says it's all right said no, I don't want it, whatever the reason. They put a pin in his head, suck out his brains, kill him. So
wow. Let me go to
go ahead, brother.
Let me go to Pete. Brother Pete, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, radio, morning glow, panelists, and audience. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Peter, you talking directly to your phone? You're just a little bit low, brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. We're talking about the United States of America. How united are we?
Well, the United States is united when it needs to be united for its safety and welfare and longevity. It's amazing how fast we'll come together on one accord when everybody is in danger. So we have a strong semblance of unity, whether we realize it or not, when we need to have it. When you're dealing with a experience like the United States, having all type of different ethnicities and genders and religions, perspectives and opinions in one society, that everybody has the right to say something. It may seem like we're so disunified. But in actuality, when you talk to the common person, they're in line with each other regardless of all of that. The majority of the common people, they don't know about and they don't understand, interpret, and they definitely don't agree with things like qualified immunity. They say nobody is above being corrected for their wrong. So we're unified in areas that we don't even understand. We believe that everybody as a whole that can take care of themselves, do something for themselves, utilize their talents, their abilities, their intelligence to provide for themselves should do all of that first and foremost. That's a strong held opinion with the majority of everybody over here. So we're unified, whether we realize it or not, in a lot of areas. Now, we may seem like, with our different perspectives and opinions, that we're so disunified. But in actuality, the majority of us want to remain in a society where we have the right to speak out, to speak up, to speak against, to stand up, to protest, to do, for the most part, what we want to do without being infringed upon, as long as we're not infringing on somebody else. Those so-called freedoms, we as a whole embrace that.
Amen.
But I agree with my dear brother, when we talk about the democracy, a democratic society, and then a republic, and certainly a nation that stays governed by law, we're seeing some strong challenges and adjustments. And human nature tend not to like change anyway, just by nature. The majority tend not to deal with change, easily. It tends to be a difficult place. So as we see so many changes coming about, it may be a cause to concern or raise an eyebrow. But my brother made a point, and he's right. Democracy, remember, functions on somebody being on the bottom.
Wow, good deal.
It absolutely functions off somebody being down there. Somebody has to be the foundation down on the bottom in order for others to feel like they're on top. So the very structure and fiber of the function of the society and its foundation is being shaken as we look at now. It's being challenged to change in ways that it's never been confronted, and certainly not confronted to the magnitude that is being confronted now, to change the very fiber, the very foundation, the very structure, the system itself in operation, and the operators who are elected or duly appointed to operate the function of the system are being challenged to change.
Absolutely. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Got a couple of other callers just call in. I'm coming to each and every one of you in just a second. Please be patient with me. Badger, what's on your heart?
So is the question the same?
Absolutely.
Are we united?
Yes.
I think we are split on. There are going to be things like what happened at 9/11 where most of us come together and all agree that it was wrong. And then there's going to be other things that we're not going to agree with, like the Roe versus Wade overturn. And the part that I always find interesting is there are times where the popular vote does not get listened to. Because there was more people that were pro-choice than pro-life, but the pro-lifers are the ones that were listened to. So it's, to me, always going to boil down to, it is going to depend on the topic, and it's going to depend on what is the accepted norm? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Absolutely.
Okay. Because like me coming from the background that I come from, you know, I was always brought up to not trust the government and to pay attention to what they're doing because they always have hidden agendas. And me learning the things that I've learned over time has shown me that they'll do one thing, but they usually do it for a reason. Like to me, it's absolutely absurd to take freedom of choice away from women, knowing that there's no adequate healthcare system or mental health system. So, and depending on what state you live in, it doesn't matter even if you're raped or if the woman's raped, they're not allowed to have a choice. It's already in the law.
Yeah.
So now she will have to, and there's such a red tape system, depending on state, of course, that defines when it is allowed if the mother could pass away. So it's one of those things of and we're torn on this. America is not united on this. You're either on one side or the other, and then there are the handful that are both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they don't want to see it, but they also understand that it's the woman's right.
Wow.
So, I mean, you can throw in the race stuff. You know, there's a majority of people that know that racism exists, systematic racism exists, and all that kind of stuff. And then there's the other half that thinks racism is nothing but a state of mind, that doesn't think it exists or anything. So, to me, united means that a majority is, and I mean a large majority, are in the same mindset. Like 9/11. 90% of the American public was for going after the people that the government said supposedly are the ones that were behind it.
Supposedly, yeah.
And so it's always going to boil down to individual beliefs, people rallying together.
Y'all still there?
Paying attention. Is it the majority vote or the minority vote? Because the abortion thing, the judges listen to the minority vote. So if you want to say we're united, why didn't they listen?
Welcome to my one number.
Somebody got something going on. Somebody got something going on in the background back there. Okay, good deal, good deal. Hey Leonard, you there?
Yes.
Read that for me, Leonard, public citizen. Can you see that?
We are divided because people in power use race, religion, sex, gender, and other superficial markers as a wedge. We only see our point of view, so we know we are right. Meanwhile, we ignore huge problems like climate change and global hunger.
Any comment on that, Leonard?
I mean, that's a person's opinion. I have different beliefs, so it doesn't, I understand issues, but I like working more towards the solution side of things. So I'm not likely to get into a back and forth decision about who's better or not, what way to choose is better. To me, I'm an individual type person. And the best way to check and see if you're on the right side is to see, would you want someone to oppress you this way? And if your answer is no, that clearly identifies you on what side you are on the side of the game. The unity and everything is that we don't. There's too much theory behind some certain things for people just to keep overlooking them. Like one, if you believe that there ever was a beginning in unity, I understand you, because if you believe things were all together in the first place, they've never been. Not as long as I've been alive, they haven't. So I've never seen this unity some of you talk about.
Exactly.
So So we all operating in places where there's a lot of diversity. And some people will justify suppressing others if they can get backup from others.
Wow.
So all these conversations people be having, well, we need to do this. Well, somebody lying, because if blacks it ain't but 13% of the population, what in the world is happening to white folks? When I got to look somewhere to find you, then I believe that you coming up short. But everywhere I look, you at. So don't it ain't like I got to go too far to find one of you. So this notion that people make up these, make up anything to justify their suppression of other individuals based on their own prejudices.
Wow. Let's go to our Bishop. Bishop, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. We're talking about the United States of America. Bishop, are we united?
No, we're not united. And when they formed this country back in the 1700s, breaking away from England, they had their liberty, like what they did on the if you would be reminded, there was a war that took place in 1861 to 65. It was called the Civil War. And you got brothers of neighboring states fighting in other states. That don't sound like they're united to me. West Virginia pulled away from Virginia, the western part of Virginia pulled away from the eastern part of Virginia, and they have not gotten back together. It doesn't sound like they're united to me. We're fighting issues that deal with race or people's personal preferences. It doesn't sound like we're united to me. We got people in office that are elected by us that are fighting each other about legislation. Doesn't sound like they're united to me. They can't even come up with a common, denominator or common factor that we need to rectify this problem so that we can move this country forward. This country's not united. I don't care how somebody come up with their ideology or whatever they want to come up with, and I'm a former politician and I know what the heck goes on and behind closed doors and all this issue, all this stuff to go on. This country is not united. If this country was united, then blacks wouldn't have been enslaved. In 1859, John Brown would not have been executed because he fought and protested against blacks being in slavery. This country has never been united.
Wow.
The only united that they had was, hey, we're gonna pull away from England. That was the only thing they had in common. After that, everything went asunder. So you ask the question, I get the answer.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
don't go off Greg, but this is how Greg feels. This is what Greg thinks. No, I look at what's going on. I see what's going on.
That's good.
Let's
good.
Be real. Let's stop trying to talk all political and sound cute. And let's just bring it. Let's just hit the clown in the face like you're supposed to.
Good deal. Good deal.
That's your right.
Let's go to Rico. What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Yes, we are united as 50 territories under the conglomerate and the economic system of bankers and the Federal Reserve. And we make it successful. And they're going to force this union to stay together so that economical system that really exists out of thin air continues to work, and we continue to make it successful by just consuming and wanting to be convenient. Now, these 50 territories that are all united by this conglomerate called the bank and the Federal Reserve disagree on a lot of issues. So you could be united but not agree on everything. And we disagree on a lot of stuff.
That's right.
But we all spending that same dollar, buying the same high gas, using the same medical system, using these same banks, trying to be entrepreneurs in the same system. Entrepreneurs. We just finished talking about that, right? We ain't going to be entrepreneurs in Jamaica. We talking about right over here in the good old U.S. of A. Ran by the Federal Reserve and the bank that will make us stay together because they refuse to let that economic system fail. And in the process of losing that economic system, that great power that they call the military and that control, oh man, so much will get lost. So yeah, we are united forcefully, or maybe by delusion or illusion, because we continue to make it successful. But we disagree on a lot of stuff.
Lot.
And then at the same time,
They have us disagreeing only to keep us distracted so they could continue this system that really only a fool shouldn't be able to understand or realize what's going on. Like right now, tell me how is it that the dollar isn't worth $1, but everything is still being inflated? Tell me how Elon Musk is about to be $1 trillion now, but really and truly, if he's about to be worth $1 trillion, but the dollar is only worth 50 cents, he really still just a $500 million now, 500 billion now. But that you see how they mind screw us and they're just thinking, playing along with this game, this system. So now they got us distracted with Roe versus Wade, and they refuse to look at logic. True, they understand human nature. We understand human nature, but we don't want to accept the fact that some of these people in power, some of these huge mega entrepreneurs want to manipulate society and continue to be opportunistic and capitalize just out of greed. They went from being entrepreneurs to dictators and greedy demons. So now we arguing about Roe versus Wade. We having these issues and people are divided. They divided knowing there are going to be issues. There are going to be situations and conditions where a woman definitely needs an abortion, either to save her life, whatever reason. There are reasons justified why a woman should terminate her pregnancy, and she should have that right to do that, and a man shouldn't have a say in it to keep her from doing it. Not even another woman should have a right to say that this woman shouldn't be able to have an abortion because it's to save her life or because of where the baby came from. But then you got to understand the situation we live in, and as human beings, how comfortable we got. And guess what? Some of these whores gave these white men ammunition to go in and make this an issue by living free, popping it open, getting pregnant, and using abortion as a cover-up, as a plan B, as a safety net to get over her mistakes. Let me just get my mistakes out the way. Yeah, I was cheating on my husband. Yeah, I was sleeping with 9 or 10 people and they weren't wearing condom because I like it raw, and not this is life I like to live. And I believe in abortion to the point to where if I get pregnant, one of them gonna pay for it. And guess what they said back and said, guess what, we caught y'all abusing it. We knew you was gonna do it. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it an issue. We're gonna take it from everybody, even the women that do need it, even the women that need the abortion as a necessity. We're going to take it from you, make it an issue again that has existed for over 50 years, just about 40 years at least, and distract you from really what's important and other things that's going on.
Good deal.
And we're going to keep out in turmoil and in disagreement under this perfect union.
Cool beans. Cool beans. We're going to keep this thing going, man. We got our Cassandra. Cassandra, good morning. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, I'm asking a question. We're talking about the United States of America. Cassandra, are we united?
No, we are not. I mean, there are factions, and I'll call them just that. There are factions that are united, and they have their agendas that they are working toward, and that's what they keep. But as a country, there is no way that anybody can think that we're united. There are factions in this country that are united. And Rico mentioned some of them, but I'm talking about as a whole, how, when, where. I mean, even if we're buying the same, using the products and buying gas, those are necessities, of life that we're purchasing. And whatever country we would have to purchase gas if we had a car, we'd have to purchase food if we're going to eat. We'd have to have electricity if we're going to have light. But as a people, as a group of people, as this mixed melting pot that everybody keeps saying we are not a united people. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
And what if you research, and it's what the research says as well.
That's good. Ibrahim.
Yes, sir.
United States of America. United States of America, sir. Are we united?
The we is the question, but yes, this is the United States. It speaks for itself. And we are a state of commerce. I had the opportunity driving trucks at a very young age to know how messy commerce is, right? And until they was able to streamline commerce, single state. That's what I know about truck driving. about the single state rule, right? Or permit. But anyway, out of laws, the way the laws are put down, the way the government is structured, this is not a democracy. This is a republic. Democracy and the democratic republics are messy because in the state that it requires a group of people to be the medium or a majority to side with different issues and things to make laws. Now, manipulating those issues or the people is the sense of power that gives you power to manipulate this republic, right? We give up our rights to choose a representative to represent us, right? A democracy could be a moptocracy, can be an ethnocracy, and that's what this pretty much is. It is a union of Europeans, and like they said a few years ago, this is a white country. That is where the unity comes place. Every state is united through law, through trade, through commerce, through communications, through military might, all these things that unite a country. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because responsibility, we forget that responsibility of freedom and responsibility of independence is our sole responsibility as a group of people, right? We're forced to be a group of people. We don't like it. We don't have to like it, but we're forced to be a group of people. Mm-hmm. Everything that applies to us individually and collectively. Now, we can participate in this motocracy or ethnocracy and this republic. We can participate in this, but we don't have to be a part of it for that government to be united. You have the European Union. The Union of the Europeans of white people are united across parts of the world. They're in combat right now, seeing who's going to be the most powerful and powerful. But this is the fact of life. Yes, it's a united country. We is a matter of opinion. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But the facts show it. Everything that we do, we buy fruit from other countries. We buy fruit from other parts of the nation at your convenience, right? The gas has a certain regulation to the gas. The natural gas, you got regulated energy sources and everything. We are united in this. With different corporations, but we come on a united front or a united way of doing business. It might be different in different states. It might be different locations. It might be different mineral and resources in different places. But they're traded very easily within the United States. We can travel across borders in a state without basically having to go to a checkpoint. They did during the coronavirus. I traveled across country coronavirus, and they had checkpoints for each state. Mm-hmm. You came from one state, they want to let you in. Yeah. Like, they want to let you come from Louisiana. But in order, other than that, right, we were able to, they came with a vaccine. Mm-hmm. They determined that corona was a pandemic, right? And they acted upon it, and the collectivism came up with a vaccine. Mm-hmm. And that is the power of the state.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but legally, financially, we are a union. And I say we because since we're a part of it and we accept it, we buy things, we use the currency, we're giving it permission, we vote for people, we get it permission to represent us or to do things for our state.
Good deal, good deal. Got to keep it moving, brother. Got to keep it moving, brother.
Okay, good.
Okay. Hold one second. Let me go to Annette. Annette, what's on your heart, sis? Annette, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I think all points are just truly valid, but you know what? When you're not into necessarily how the United States of America is actually run as a republic and as a corporation, I think that it's good to have all those points of view. Just imagine if those points of view would come together and design blueprints for the United States of America. A lot of times we do talk about it, but we don't put anything in action to help it. And that's the hard part for me because I'm in the political world, and I'm writing all the time to help people in court, in the political, everything. We're putting a referendum on the ballot regarding foreclosures. You got to get into the game. I don't know if we were just to take the genius of everybody on this call and put some calls to action on paper, it would be amazing. I'm challenging all of you guys. Put something on paper and let's get busy.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. Let's keep the Bishop. What's on your heart? Bishop, you there? Okay, we might have lost Bishop there for a second. He might have stepped away from the phone just for a second. Let me go to where am I going there? Let's go to Toya with a T. Toya with a T. What's on your heart, sis?
Yeah. So, I've been listening, and again, we all have a right to feel the way we want to feel. And there are oftentimes, like I said, you're going to see mom and dad arguing, and y'all not together, but they're together and meeting your needs. But yet it's still an issue. Every one of us on this line are enduring and living in the dream or nightmare of what they say the United States is, but we're sitting up here talking about what it ain't. We didn't live here our whole life. Despite some of the issues we talk about, we ain't even experienced. We talking about. Look, I ain't never experienced slavery. When I'm talking about what somebody else done endured when it wasn't united for them. How dare I stand here today with all the little foolish stuff I done did to be ununited by myself and talk about these states when they human too. We gotta stop. God blessed all of us on this line. In America, that's why we're in trouble right now, because we learned to be grateful for the United States that we're in. This is a blessed land. That's just my personal belief. I believe that God blessed this land to be like this for a reason. And we are so comfortable now to being free, to just almost how God intended to be. It's almost like that. We just got a little more fight because other humans is getting in our way. But we're forgetting. You're absolutely right. Talking to a woman who had an abortion, and I'm so bad I had an abortion because I ain't been able to have no baby since. I thought it was the right thing to do. So did my silly ass parents, excuse my language. But now at 45, it's like, dog, where are our grandbabies at? And I said, you killed them. Remember, we killed them. They can't take that kind of truth. I had to thank God about that kind of truth. Because listening to some of these humans talking about what we ain't over here, boy, stop. God told me otherwise. God told me that he got me born. This is what God told me when I was suicidal in this land. From all the things that humans had did, not what this land had did, the humans had did to where I was suicidal. And he said, girl, let me tell you something. You are here because of me. This land is here because of me. And when I created you, I had a mighty work for you to do. I don't want to hear all that crying and complaining, honey, because the stuff I told you to do, you didn't do. But what you going to do now? And I got up and I'm getting myself educated because I understand it's a system out here that I need to infiltrate. I'm up and I'm getting educated because I understand that there's people, not only black, that need help and that need me. I understand now that all these years, I know what the hell they was doing in that White House. I still did nothing. But that day is over because I know that this state is united. I know it's better than a lot of other places. I don't want to go over there. I want to stay right here. But what I'm finna do, I'm finna fight and make this stuff over here right. So while we all talk about what we ain't, let's get together and talk about what we finna do and make this thing right over here. Because I don't want to go over there. I'm good here. And we need to focus on making this place ours.
Good day. Captain, what's on your heart?
Get that.
Man, Sister T, man, she be moving me, man. She give us some real stuff about her personal life. And Sister T, we really appreciate you, girl. I mean, God has transformed you from your pain in life, and all the women that had made that grave mistake, either because men would not step up to the plate to take care of that responsibility. I'm not no angel. I had pushed some people to do that, and I feel bad, and I know I have to be judged on that, and I feel bad about that because I could have said no. I really could have. But covering up my indiscretions is I was more concerned about being exposed for my infidelity than with God and to take a life. And I'm hurt behind that. And every day, Sister T, I ask God forgiveness. And I move on, but I feel you, sis, but, I like your spirit. I really, really love your spirit. But let me say this about the divide of America, Brother Raheel. I remember Malcolm made a speech that, you know, he said you can go in and you sit and you go to the diner and you can sit around and you can see everybody order and you can see everybody eat, but you ain't eating. And you say, well, I'm dining. You can't be dining if you're not eating. The people that's at the table, they eating, so they dining. So you can't say, what are you doing? I'm dining and you ain't eating. You could be a part of America's dream. And we could desire to say we Americans. And we could say America is united on this, that, and the other. But I ain't eating. I can say I'm part of America and I'm not eating. I'm not enjoying the rights of, yeah, there's a few. My sister was in the political, yes, there's a few. And there's a few of us that slip through the cracks. Get, you know, we say, you get above the crab in the barrel. But don't tell me that you didn't have your own people trying to pull you back down. We should get where we at. And the greatest enemy is not white people. It was not white people that was trying to stop you. It was your own ignorant, self-hatred kind. That's what we had. So we are divided. But we're divided on religion. There's no question we divide. You want to get into a conversation right now on this line, let's talk religion. Man, we so divided. You want to talk politics, we divided. We want to talk economics and social justice, we divided. Sure, America is united because she say United States of America. She's united. White people are united. But then when it comes to the minority, that's what they call us. The minority's not feeling the majority. You can't tell me all the minorities feel the majority. No, you have within white people's own ranks a division. They wouldn't attack the Capitol if they wasn't divided. They wouldn't attack the Capitol. That's not no unit. That's not, well, they united, but they attacked the Capitol. I don't see no unity in that. But we don't want to mix apples with oranges. We're not say America, the country America, land of the free, home of the brave. You know what I'm saying? Land of the free, home of the brave. But where's that at with us? We sing the national anthem, we take a knee. Do y'all remember that? We take a knee. Why we take a knee? Because we don't receive the same justice. We don't receive the same liberty. It's a good nation, but we divided. And we divided. The have against the have-nots. So I think that we don't get mixed up about America. Yes, America united in war. We should go to war. But when America went to war in Vietnam, we weren't united there. Martin Luther King spoke against that war. We were not about going. Muhammad Ali said, I'm not going over there to Vietnam. They never called me nigga. Give our life and we don't have no benefit. And those soldiers come back and they get treated with busted in the head. They're arrested. They don't give a doggone they had a uniform on. You black. So what I'm saying is, family, don't mix oranges with apples. Yes, America unite. White people unite on principles. They want to stay in a position of privilege. They want to stay in a position of privilege. They want to stay in a position, and you can't be mad about it. We want to get in the position of privilege. We want to get in the position of privilege. What's wrong with that? So they don't want to see some people rise up and take over the powers and the rings of America. Not us. No. That's real talk. Y'all can act like it ain't don't exist, but it's real talk. Thank you, brother. Give me time.
Good deal. Let's go to we either have VP or we have Friday. VP or Friday. Which one is that? Who's there?
It's Friday. Good morning.
Good morning, Friday. How you doing this morning?
How you doing?
Doing good. We're talking about the United States of America. Friday, are we united?
We are unitedly divided.
Wow.
And that can be put together. I think there, as you know, it's been stated, I heard physically the states are joined. And so in that sense, there's united. But in terms of as a whole people, we are not. And the reason, in my opinion, that we are not is because we too busy getting aneurysms and high blood pressure about what we were never supposed to have to worry about at all. As we take it to Genesis, we were never supposed to even have the wherewithal or knowledge about even trying to decide right and wrong, good and evil. That was not for us to decide on our own, intended originally.
Mm-hmm.
But because the fruit was bitten and it was passed down as a genetic inheritance, here we are, and thus we're divided. So until we relinquish leaning on our own understanding to try to decide these things and not pass it back to who was supposed to be the originator of that, which is God, to direct us and allow the Holy Spirit to guide us, we'll continue to be divided in that.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good. Badger, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Not all white folks are like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not even we are white skinned people united. We're split on a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of us are pissed off at what happened on January 6th. A lot of us are upset over the racial BS that is in our government systems and the way certain towns still exist and the way they do things. And we fight very hard. I fight in the county I'm in all the time to make sure everyone has equal rights. So I find it, to me, there's irony in the concept of united.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to boil down to personal belief and stuff. And like what Cap was saying, religion is one of the biggest things that separate us. It's the amount that it separates us on is, in my opinion, there's a massive gap.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of people that I've run across that don't even know what to believe because of how they were treated for thinking differently or for being different. The amount of people that throughout history that has been genocided over a belief in money. And so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to remember, Hitler was a Christian.
Wow.
So, So,
don't put what Hitler did on Christianity. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just saying what he called himself.
That was he was a human. Don't do that.
So, there was a post that was shared on my Facebook that, to me, is a really good example for this topic we're talking about today. And it's by a reverend. And he says, our Christian religion is being co-opted for the sake of power and control over our culture. Where Jesus chose to save us by his grace and mercy, Christianity is being used to coerce and control people into conformity. This is what it looks like to take Christ's name in vain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good deal. Let's keep this thing going because we only got a little less than 20 minutes before we got to get out of here. So I want to touch as many people as I can before we get out of here. Pete, what's on your heart, brother? Pete, you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you called somebody else. Well, we see just from the panel how we have opinions and perspectives and they're not in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
So when we can draw that out to the greater society and we can have a better comprehension of what we're dealing with in this society. But as a whole, I still say, in my personal, just one person who does polls on a daily basis, walk up to people and ask them a few questions and get their opinion, and this is where I speak from. The majority of us are grateful to be in this society as opposed to others, enjoying the ability that we have in this society that is not necessarily afforded in others. With all of the injustice and the challenges that we have with the judiciary out of hand, in my opinion, definitely needs to be reined in. Well, you still can get relief. The injury may occur in a matter of seconds or minutes. it may take you years, 10 or 12 or more to get your relief, but you can, if you stay in the fight, eventually get your relief. So that is something that is still available to you in this particular society.
Yeah.
So we, as a whole, I think and I've gathered from speaking to individuals around the country, that we appreciate those norms in this society, but we are still reaching for the perfection. We are still seeking the perfection. We still desire. We're still pushing for, standing up for, speaking up for the perfection in this society. And again, after the COVID and the protesting and all, this country has had itself its back pushed against the wall by a majority of the consumer citizens who are demanding change, who are demanding excellence, who are demanding perfection. And this is what we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
And those that are in position who feel that they are in power, it is our fault collectively as the consumer citizens, the everyday ones, who allow them to feel that their behinds are glued to the seat. Nobody's behind is glued to any seat. And the people actually have the power. But the people have to realize they are in power. And they have the right and the means and the force to bring about collectively the change and changes that are desired in this society.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I, like someone just said, we definitely have our different views here, which is totally not united. We have several different opinions on here. I definitely agree with we call him Chief, not Chief.
Captain. Captain.
Yeah, I definitely agree with him. And I can tell you something. One of the most divided places, and I think Leonard say this on Sunday, it might have been Leonard, on Sunday, the churches are some of the most divided places in the country. You got your white church, you got the black church, and we're saying that we're serving the same God, same, all this stuff, but we're totally separate. Now you have a few churches that, have, mixed congregations and stuff, but for the most part, and I think I've told this story before, I'm gonna tell it very quickly. I worked with an older white gentleman that was my regional director for several years for a company. And that man would do anything he could to help me and to help my family and to be a blessing to me. And one day we were talking about church, and I was like, yeah. I said, well, do you have, black people? Do black people go to your church? And he said, no, and we don't want black people to come. He said, we feel like black people should go to black churches. I was devastated.
Wow.
So when you see somebody that says, I care about you, you're important, but I can't sit in a church with, come on, somebody now. Just something, that's a simple thing.
Yeah.
That's a simple thing. And we're worshiping the same God, but we can't worship in the same church. What the hell? What the hell? That thing hurt me to the core of my being.
Yeah.
So we are totally divided in a lot of areas. You can use United States of America all you want, but this is one of the most divided countries in the world as far as the things that I've seen from the 63 years I've been here.
Yes. Wow. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? Kurt, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Talk to me.
Been listening the whole while.
Talk to me.
The idea of God being used as a means to divide has always been prevalent. It's probably one of the biggest characters in the whole ideology of divide and conquer. So you can't like run away from that just because you're spiritual. You gotta understand that the people that's using that are not spiritual, they're religious. They're forsaking the words of scripture for the tradition of culture. So, you know what I mean? It has always been prevalent. They used Genesis 9:27 to justify slavery. And if you not coherent enough, or if you educated enough, if you just take it for face value, can honestly accept that, okay, Bible said it, so I'll do it. During times, during the 14th centuries, such places like France, Germany, England specifically, would use God to justify burning women at a stake. To justify having wars. One of the biggest saying that the knights used to say was, "God wills it." So, you know, Hitler was a Christian. I mean, you can't. Well, that's what he claimed that he was. We can't deny that. I mean, Christianity is a religion. It's not a spiritual being. You are the spiritual beings that exist in the space. When you talk about the division of this country, the country has been divided because the country was developed based off of hypocrisy. It was based on hypocrisy and greed. It ain't no other way to look at it. And we done, you know, I hate to say it, but we done Kool-Aid. We done, you know, I don't know, man.
Wow.
I just know that I'm gonna say it again because I said it last week. The time has.
Hey, you're breaking up on me there, Kurt. You're breaking up on me, brother. Let's go to Bishop. Bishop, are you there? Bishop, are you there?
May I speak?
Yes, sir. Who's that, Ibrahim?
Yes, it is.
Go ahead, brother.
You know, who you want to do religion with, race and everything, right? I hate to tell y'all, right, but a lot of people look at their religion a lot differently from who you think. We've taken an opinion that Baptist religion, or our type of Baptist religion, or what we read and we want to understand, is a whole lot different between people in different parts of the Christian religion. It is you know, the whole concept of it came from a particular source, right? You know, and to acknowledge that, or even read the acknowledgments in front of the King James Version of the Bible, and on and on and on, to have an understanding of history, and then you would glean from it what you want to glean from it that supports you and your group of people. But somehow we had a universal idea, and I'm actually a universal minister in the universal church, not denomination, right? And but just the knowledge of it, sometimes it just sounds me what we call true in Christianity, or what we call true about anything in life. It's an opinion based on observation, and our observation is based on information that we have to observe something, and we come up with opinions and absurd ideas that defies the logic and the truth of what actually is. You know what I mean? And I don't argue a person's belief, but when you tell me this is true, this is fact, then you open up a discussion for me, right? So religion in itself and being united has different facts. It's not what you want it to be. You're actually united by proximity, by geography, by going through the same law. That is united. There's no such thing as kumbaya united. Kwame Nkrumah said, and he mentioned that about when he talked about OAU, there's no such thing as unity for unity's sake. You have to have a specific need, a job, or work, right? So I heard a lot of opinions today, and I heard a lot of facts. And there's more opinions than facts. And people are very emotional in their opinion because that's what they developed to call their core. That's who they think they are, or who they are. But the facts speak entirely different. And I have to admit to facts, you know, but I don't have to admit to just opinions through a John Desire, an informed opinion, you know, or just an opinion, like everybody got one.
What was fact and what was fact and what was the fact, the opinion?
Okay. The fact is that we unite.
I'm gonna give y'all 1 minute for this.
It's a geographical fact we unite. We have the same laws. We respond to the same government. We have given lead to these governments by participating in these governments or not participating and let other people do what they do. Right? This is a direct. We have the same thing. We have food. We have wants. We have the protection, security. This is what you think.
Okay, hold on, gentlemen. No, we can't do this because we only got 7 minutes, and I want to make sure I pull some more people. We out Wednesdays tomorrow. Hold that thought. We'll pick it up. We'll pick it up tomorrow.
Can I get this last question, man?
Yeah, but he's not gonna be able to answer it though, Curtis. Because we gotta move on. Go ahead, ask your question.
Don't have to answer it, but I'm just gonna throw this out here. What was fixed?
I can't hear you.
What was?
Okay, let me go to. Okay, hold on. We gotta move. We gotta move on. We only got a few more minutes before we get out of here. We'll pick this up tomorrow on Way Out Wednesday. That's where we can throw everything we want to throw out there against the wall, and we'll see what sticks and what doesn't. But Annette, what's on your heart?
Hey, I want you to be a little more compassionate. I want you to be a little bit more compassionate. Sometimes we don't always need to take the negative spin or the division spin or the adverse spin. We don't need to do that. We really don't need to do that. The ladies said it great, and I'm giving kudos to the ladies today. The ladies said it great. America is the best place for freedom. And that's what we have to look at, because people are taking boats to come over here to America, and they're making multi-millions. They're making multi-millions. And so we have to have another blueprint. We have to have another game plan instead of, just talking with our mouth. We have to really put some multi-million-dollar corporations in place and do what we're supposed to be doing. And fathers, don't leave your family. We experienced it all, and yet we still don't want to be accountable for that. We got to get that man and that woman on one accord, and I'm going to end there.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna say this right here, because again, I like to deal with both sides of the coin. Rico, I'm coming to you next. And you're absolutely right, fathers. If you make, stay with your family, stay with your family. It's a responsibility. You should be, hope you're man enough and adult enough to do that. But women, stop running these men out of the homes as well. Stop making it so hard for them. Stop making it so hard for the men to stay in the home and stay with you. There's both. No. We're not gonna get into that. We'll talk about this tomorrow. We're not gonna talk about it right now. This is a perfect place for us to start tomorrow, because just like you saying that men are leaving the home, and they are. I'm not gonna say that they're not. Some of them are, but at the same time, why do some women have to make it so difficult for that man to stay in the home?
Yeah. That's right.
Come on now, we got to. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it all. Let's not talk about the part that you like. We'll talk. We're gonna call in tomorrow. Call in tomorrow. We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Oh my God, this is good, because you just hit that blow. You hit that blow, and can you write that down, bro?
I got it.
And I love you.
I love you as well, sis. Love you as well.
So we can start with that.
We're gonna start with that tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. Rico, what's on your heart?
I love you, but you got the Jezebels out there that y'all just
come on, and now let somebody else talk. And that stop that now. Let Rico, what's on your heart? She passionate about that, brother.
That's gonna be a good topic, and that's one that really needs to be addressed, because until we get that part straight, the community ain't gonna be right, and all this entrepreneur stuff that we're talking about gonna be individual things. Now, I like what Abraham said. We are united. And it reminds me of the workplace. You go to work, you have a lot of co-workers, but you might not agree with them 100% on everything. Y'all gonna have a lot of disagreements about who you vote on, abortion, Roe versus Wade, drugs, all kind of stuff, sentencing guidelines. Everybody gonna have a disagreement about their views, their ideologies and beliefs. But at the end of the day, the job's still getting done. And you're doing what you're supposed to do, working as a team with all these individual ideologies and beliefs. You're still looking at the bigger picture. And then once you're looking at the bigger picture, you have then found out that you are working in the order of what's important. So when you start asking the question, is the United States of America united in the order of importance? I think 9/11 proved that.
That's
and
good.
so when you look at those situations and you think about the bigger picture, when people start saying, because listen, that was the narrative that they gave us, is that somebody came over here and did the most terrible act that you could think of. They wanted us to believe that. And in the process of believing that, we wanted quick and swift justice. Not black people, not white people. Human beings did. It was people on the other side of the world wanted quick justice. But America, oh my goodness. Everybody was on one accord. You didn't hear nothing about racism, nothing about identity. None of that went on, because the bigger picture was hey, they tried the United States. They spoke about a new Pearl Harbor, and they tried it.
Yep.
Just like the Japanese did. And they don't do us like that. So everything else went to the side, because they started all this propaganda and fear mongering. Or they might come over here and start burning up gas stations. Or they're going to start coming through here shooting up people. The Muslims are going crazy. Terrorists everywhere. Terror level threat, orange. Terror level, and we went along with it, united. Fighting the war on terrorism, fighting the war on drugs, all these things that we all come together for. We do that united as a country, as a whole.
Exactly. Wow.
As individuals in a group that still have separate opinions about everything and don't agree about everything.
Exactly.
So, we are united in the bigger picture of everything, you know what I'm saying? But the fact is we just have to look at the logic of it. We are all individual human beings that don't agree with everybody on everything about nothing.
Absolutely. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Y'all should have a pretty interesting conversation come tomorrow, I think. But I think a lot of people express their opinions or what have you. Fine. Everybody has their own point of view. And, I'm always stressing the individual part of it.
Absolutely.
Being collective is great, but you got to have something to unify around other than some of your prejudices and your biases.
That's good.
And you can start whatever group you want or what have you. Everybody's never going to be on board. And to think that your opinion is always the best way to do things, that ain't best for everybody.
No, might be best for you, but not for everybody.
Exactly. And you have to take that into consideration all the time and get away from this mindset that everybody got to do things the way you want to do them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Captain, what's on your heart, sir?
You hear them kids always say they want to be like Mike. And I want to be like Leonard, man. I'm telling you,
Calvin.
He just has a way. He don't. I get excited when I talk. Leonard just a smooth dude. He keep his tone. You never hear him raise above. I'm studying now, Professor Leonard. I'm studying.
Lord,
listen. Let me say this. As I was talking, as brother was talking about the workers, I think that was brother Rico. You're absolutely right. You could be at a job working with somebody you disagree in their religion. You can go through all that, but you united in putting that car together on that assembly line. The man in the foxhole, the two white soldiers, white soldier, black soldier, they united in that foxhole. But when they come out that foxhole, they got a CO where he can't go to the same club that the white officer can. But they united in the foxhole. Bill Russell was a hell of a player for the Celtics, Boston Celtics. But then after he was a team, they was united on that court. But where did Bill Russell go? He didn't go to the same hotel that his teammates went. He had to go to a different hotel. You seen the movie The Green Book? We united, man, until we have to go to one side and drink one side of the water. They drink another side of the water. Oh, we united when we together as Americans, the so-called men. But I can't drink out of that water fountain. Little kids, Dad, what's special about that water fountain? Oh, we united as Americans. If somebody attack America, we're gonna defend them, and we united there. So we understand that. That intelligence tell us that makes sense, and I like that. But what I'm seeing and what we're talking about is that, listen, they said, when they come and they see the Statue of Liberty, every man is endued by his creator with certain inalienable rights.
Yes.
I mean, wow, every man created equal and endowed by his creator with certain inalienable rights. We ain't got them.
Mm-hmm.
If we had them, we wouldn't have no Black Lives Matter if we was united.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not act like now we could talk about the glory of America's history. But let me tell you, I was with an Italian dude the other day. Look, he said, man, I'm excited, man. I said, why? He said, I'm going to Italy. This will be my first trip going back home. I thought about, man, I see Black people. They don't even say, I'm excited. I'm going to Africa. Y'all talk all this, man, and you don't even have a desire.
Man,
Desire.
Now, Captain, you know, you and I had this conversation, Captain. I told you what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And it's nothing wrong, but you can't even look at the condition of Black people until you go back to Africa, where it all started. We keep wanting to start at 0.5 when we didn't want to go to 0.1. Because why? You can see the history. We didn't live during slavery, many of you, so you don't really understand the torture and the torment of what we had to go through, our people. You don't really understand. No more than a Christian really understand the torture of Jesus Christ. You really don't understand. We can only assume. We can only feel. Yes, it's our opinion.
Yeah.
But America's made from brilliant people of opinions. So when we get opinions, somebody gonna say, you know what? That's a doggone good idea. I never thought about it like that. But it's an opinion. And I'm not trying, as a Muslim, trying to convert people over to Islam. You very seldom ever hear me talk anything about Islam. Why? Because as soon as I do that, I'm gonna lose many of you as a friend. I'm gonna lose you. So I keep my mouth shut. Because I value y'all's friendship. But it's bigger, as my brother said. It's bigger than it's religion. That's not spiritual growth. That's religion. And we know that when you look at the King James Version, here's a damn king that took the damn book and gave his version of the book. That's what he did. Then after that, then he keep revising it. How you keep revising a version? You got to look at the key word because the Bible was not written in its original language. The original language is Hebrew. But the king said, I can't read Hebrew, so let's break the words down. Let's go into English. And you can't find certain words. English is the lowest language on the planet. I hate to say it, but they call it a bastard language. That's what they say. But you're going to take English and you're going to take the Bible out of its original text, which is Hebrew, and you can't find certain words that can fit it. Same way with the Holy Quran. Some words you just can't find the definition of it. But we read it and we take it to be what? The gospel. But
Good deal.
History, King James, a pedophile. He was a pedophile. If you know his history, but we don't want to know history. We take things on face value and fight like tooth and nail, like it's the truth. Yes, a united lie will defeat disorganized, divided truth anytime. I'm gonna say it one time. I'm gonna be through. A united lie can defeat a disorganized, divided truth anytime. So yes, we're united. But are we united around a lie? Are we united around a lie? Or are we united around the truth? I'm through.
I preach. I preach. We gotta move on now, preacher.
I love you.
I love you as well. Pete, what's on your heart, brother?
For us melanated folk in America, I would simply suggest and encourage us to stop playing their game and start playing our game. Stop majoring in the minors and the mess and the minuscule and the meaningless and the nothingness, and start operating, living, existing, moving in your full potential and doing all that you can to peak at your full potential individually and collectively. And we will immediately find that in spite of all of these deficiencies, these historical truths and challenge to our very existence, we will yet achieve. We will yet thrive. We will yet become. We will yet do. We will yet have, in spite of. And nothing will be an impediment to us other than what is an impediment to us now. Us. Exactly. We are our own impediment to our own selves, collectively and individually, and our own progress. And when we once realize these truths, it is game over for all of the historical truths and mess that we have been confronted with and what we complain about and are concerned about. There may still be some vestiges, but we will live in this society in a condition that is the best of our full potential, how we were created as living flesh and blood sentient beings on this planet to live and exist right here in the now, and that's it.
Yes,
and
sir.
Nothing will say or do anything against it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Forward strong.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cassandra?
Yeah, once again, I really agree with Cap and several other people on here. I mean, we can say about the United, and I'm glad that people feel like we're a united country. I mean, yeah, we work, like I think Rico said, we work on the job and we get the job done. Yeah, But as far as people, there is so much disconnect between us as a country. That's the black, the white, the Asians, the Mexicans, whoever you name groups, and everyone is sectioned off doing their own thing. My biggest concern is that our people, black people, we are one of the few groups that have not come together. These other folk come together and they get it done. We are one of the few groups that refuse to get together, and we're on the bottom of the financial financial totem pole compared to all of these other groups that came here, and they came out here differently. And I want us to never forget that, because we keep acting like black people just want to be at the bottom of the rounds when it comes to economics in this country. These people came over here because they saw something that they believed would be good for them. Because you got to consider how we came here first. You got to consider that, because all of that plays into what's happening right now. Yes, we need to forget about, I don't want you to ever forget about slavery, but we're not living in that slave mentality. But this country reminds us every day where we came from. Don't ever forget that. This country, this United States of America reminds us every day of where we came from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hit one more person. Bishop, are you with us? Bishop, are you there? Cool beans. Badger, talk to me.
The joy that we are individual human beings, or as some people can view it as spiritual beings living a human existence. We as individuals end up developing a relationship with some kind of belief. And it's when we find people that have similar beliefs, we tend to group up, surround ourselves with, or attempt to surround ourselves with like-minded people. And to me, if we can remember when we're among others to not be hateful just because someone believes in something different, or looks different, or thinks different, I feel as a human race, things would be better. But yet, I'd say I want to be more balanced, because we'll never 100% get rid of evil.
Yeah.
And it's something I always feel is really important, is understanding that there are people that will use teachings to confuse the masses. Me and Leonard talk about this quite often. So it's, who are you going to be in the moment?
That's good. That's
Is that
good.
what you're gifted?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toussaint, ended up with you, brother. What's on your heart?
I feel like singing.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't you do it. I'm gonna mute your mic, brother. I'm gonna mute your mic.
Come on, man. Give it just a chance.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Sing your song, Toussaint. Sing your song. We going in the way out Wednesday. Sing
we
your song.
shall overcome.
Oh Lord Jesus.
We shall overcome.
Oh Lord Jesus.
We shall overcome someday.
Oh Lord, got somebody that, you got background singers and everything going on right now. Boy, look at here. I believe
form a choir.
I believe that was Captain singing backup for you. I believe that was Captain singing backup.
God have mercy.
What's on your heart, brother?
There was a conversation. I don't know if I said it in this segment before, but I'm gonna say it again. The we and the them. And when you say we and them and talk about the same people that are united, it's kind of confusing.
Mm-hmm.
And this country is good at talking about we and them and y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, and this is my last statement, y'all Negroes.
There you go. Look, on that note, man, look here. Turn his mic off right now. Turn his mic off. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
Man, I can't let it go that easy, man. You know, I think we are unconsciously united. And it's funny because when you asked that question, I was going to go in the direction that everybody else, well, most people went in, that we weren't united. But you know what a country not being united looks like to me? It looks like Russia versus Ukraine.
Mm.
It looked like the USSR, once it finally was divided, once they truly were not united. And right now, we're still functioning. 50 territories together considering themselves the United States, operating under the law and under the economy to make it successful, providing the military to protect this territory, even though individually we all have different agreements. I think we are unconsciously united.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard for some people to realize when they're looking at, everything through the eyes of their experiences. So, therefore we're going to have different opinions. But, I just believe that needs to be said. I can't wait till tomorrow. Mm-hmm. With that being said, if you missed today's show and would like to see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dklmediagroup.com.
Tomorrow's going to be very interesting, brother. Tomorrow's going to be very interesting. It's going to be
hopefully we could get back on some. Hopefully we could get back on some of this on Roe versus Wade too, because I threw something out there earlier that I think it flew over a lot of people's heads. I mean, this abortion thing. People, it's some behaviors that gave these people ammo to vote and feel the way they feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's some behaviors that women have to address, and women gonna have to hold themselves accountable for. They can't blame men on some of these behaviors and some of these actions that women took that gave these men and these women that chose to take that right away from you this ammo that was given to them.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna touch on a lot, man. Tomorrow's definitely gonna be Way Out Wednesday. Tomorrow is definitely Way Out Wednesday. Brother Pete, you still with us?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to briefly say that we have to acknowledge the truth. And in spite of the truth, is the premise that I'm encouraging us to take our footing on.
Mm-hmm.
This country was established with abstract injustice, racism, prejudice, and white supremacy. It's in the writings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my opinion. It's in black and white. It's in paper, on paper, and it's repeated throughout the structure of this society, and it continues very much so today. I want to encourage us, in spite of all of that, what we can do,
mm-hmm.
what we are able to do.
Yes, sir.
And it will become a non-issue for us. That's what I want us to understand.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is there. The truth is there. We cannot deny it. It's written down before any of us were even alive. Our grandparents were alive.
Mm-hmm.
It was written down repeatedly.
Good deal.
And it's continued till today.
Brother Pete,
you can't have separate but equal. You can't have that in writing,
mm-hmm.
separate but equal.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can't talk about such persons and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's in black and white.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in spite of, it is a non-issue for us. When we understand our ability and what we can do, we neutralize it immediately right here. That's what I'm saying.
Good deal. Pete, I need you to pray us out this morning, brother. Can you do that for us?
Sure. Father God, in Jesus Christ's name, as we humble ourselves before you this morning, Lord, we thank you, to God, for the activity of our mind and limbs, a reasonable portion of health and strength. We thank you, to God, that we can come before you, casting our cares upon you, because you said that we could in your word. Certainly, God, we thank you for all of those that have assembled today on the panel and the listening audience. We ask that you would bless all as they go on their separate ways, keep them safe from seen and unseen dangers until we're able to meet again. Bless in all their endeavors. And if they have not a personal relationship, and visit them and encourage them, dear God, to seek forth the truth. And Lord, we will give you all the glory, honor, and praise for all that is said, done, and accomplished in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
It's been a great broadcast.
Ryan.
Yes, sir.
Ryan.
Yes.
Hey, man, Peter, bad man. That dude needs his own show, man. I listen to him every day, man. That dude, he's smooth. Pete bad, man. He bad, man. You need your show, Pete. You need your radio show, TV show, or something.
I've been trying to get that brother. I've been trying to get him on board. He said he was coming, man. So we're waiting on him to get his foot in up under him. But yeah, I believe he's coming. I really believe he's coming. Hint, hint. See, I ain't the only one that's telling you that, Pete. I ain't the only one saying that to you. Okay. That's a cosign right there. But listen, I want to thank everybody for joining. It is now 10:20, man. Y'all owe me 20 minutes. It's 10:20. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:20. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you for the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day, and please, please, please be blessed. Love you. Have a great day.